Fuck you, I won't do what I'm told. Oh, shit. For patrons only. It's a conspiracy. It's all a conspiracy. Stare into the all-knowing eye and watch all of your favorite conspiracies get deep, fat, fried. Change.
Deep fat fried.
Yeah.
Dude, since this is the conspiracy episode, Scotty started this right before the show, but I think the people need to hear us say it, dude. TJ, fuck you, won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, won't do what you tell me.
I think there's a conspiracy that has me on a...
I just want to point out,
has
TJ.
a show on these
Hey,
talentless fucking
TJ!
hacks.
You heard about this Tide Pod challenge thing the liberals have spread around?
Yeah, the Tide Pods.
You know what, TJ? It's turning our kids gay.
Oh, I heard that.
Look, there's so much estrogen in the water now that you're drinking fluoride estrogen. Look at you, TJ. You got man tits. If you've been born 200 years ago, you were a strong, virile man.
Yeah, soy boy.
The vampire elite are destroying us right now with the Tide Pod challenge, TJ.
They've sucked the life out of you and left behind a husk.
Damn. I feel bad. You guys are making me feel bad.
Sorry, dude. I mean, like, we're just trying to help because,
That's why
like,
you need
I mean,
supplements.
Scotty, we haven't even talked about this, but I'm assuming we're on the same page. TJ's a soy boy, right? A total
Oh, my God. Look at TJ.
110%
I didn't
lactose intolerant soy boy.
I thought I was a tough...
Sipping on estrogen-laced almond milk all goddamn day and just watching his bitch tits get more supple.
Quite
and
frankly,
full.
TJ disgusts me as a human being. But TJ, if you act now, you can buy testosterone booster, TJ. Look, TJ, you've been low T for a long time. Your whole life, low T, TJ.
Look, here's a picture
Wanna
of my
boost this
cock.
T?
Here's a picture of my cock before T-boost, and here it is after, TJ.
Wow.
Look how thick and veiny it is, TJ.
It did get bigger.
You see?
It got black. That's crazy.
What are you talking about? It's flaccid in the first picture and erect in the second. Shut up! Shut up!
You know how dicks do that, TJ. Your dick will be
I wasn't
small
aware
and
of
white,
it.
and then when it gets hard, it's big and black. It happens to everybody.
Oh.
Does it happen to you, TJ?
It's called shrinkage, asshole.
It stays small and white.
Oh, really?
Just harder.
Oh,
and
you're one of those people.
Slightly less small and still white. I don't know.
What?
I don't know why we're talking about...
We've devolved already
dicks.
into conspiracy shit, dude. This is how it.
We're
This is
talking
how it
about
works.
dicks already. Just, you know...
You have low T.
I had high hopes for this episode, but, you know, 2 minutes and 51
Low-
seconds in, dicks.
Dicks.
It's like, all right.
Come in with low expectations.
There was less
and you'll leave
talk
satisfied.
of dicks in the most attractive males episode than this one yet, so...
What do you want me to do, dude?
Nothing.
Well, TJ, we all know you're...
Dicks
TJ,
happen.
you are a confirmed butt fucking faggot, so, I mean...
We're just trying to please you with that shit. Like,
Oh, you're... this is-
all my
okay.
dick talk has always been me trying to ingrate because I figure that's what you're into.
Yeah.
Trying to
it's-
ingratiate myself.
I mean, it's a good plan. It's a good plan.
Cocks.
Solid plan.
Cocks.
Throbbing
Dicks,
cocks.
Big
See?
throbbing
Erect
hard dicks.
penises.
All right, so the reason this show is happening... Here's what you can
One
blame.
fucking reason only.
We have currently 1,655 patrons. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We set here some goals. This 500 patron goal was reached way faster than we thought, to the point where now it's been like tripled plus some fucking change. And this says we will do a special episode on a topic decided by our patrons. We did a little poll. I mean, it wasn't formally a poll. It was just kind of like, hey, what's your suggestions? And if you see someone else's suggestion you like, give it a thumbs up. The winner was conspiracies. So that's what we're doing here today.
Sweet.
Let's just briefly talk about some other goals we have. You guys have also reached this goal. We will do an episode on prohibition where we all get too drunk to function and the show is a disaster.
Oh my god.
So that's coming
That
next
is
month.
going to be a hot mess of a show.
Oh, it should. I mean, well, that's the promise.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what I mean, though. Because
So,
I just know what happens to the three of us when we get obliterated. It's going to be...
I'm just trying to imagine drunk TJ attempting to run a show.
Now
So-
try and imagine drunk TJ attempting to run a show while drunk Scotty is screaming at drunk TJ.
Oh my
And drunk drunk Paul is crying in a corner about how life is meaningless.
All right. Well, it sounds like a good time. And there's we'll try in the midst of that to discuss prohibition, I suppose.
It's going to be a fucking train wreck, dude.
Dude, we're going to get through it. We can do it.
It'll happen, though.
All right. So, this one has not quite happened yet, but we're not nearly as... Look, when we started doing this, I honestly thought, like, my goal was, like, let's finish out the first year of DFF with 2,000 patrons.
Yeah.
And we're not far from that. And how long has this been a thing? 2 months or something?
Well, it's a little longer than that,
Yeah.
but yeah, it didn't take anywhere near a year.
Didn't take shit for time.
It's pretty crazy. So we're all pretty blown away by how many of you guys have decided to buy into the show and how many you keep kind of piling on as the show
and how
goes
we're
on.
just kicking the shit out of the fucking DP Patreon.
Yep.
I mean, you know.
TJ gave us an awesome pep talk before the show. He was like, guys, this is a patron show, guys. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, we got to make sure that we lick those patron clits. We suck those patron dicks. Wash those balls. So if you have a clitoris that needs flicked or a dick that needs sucked and you're a patron, you know, whatever.
We're here for you.
That's
we're here.
What, you know.
We're here.
TJ fucking throwing some fucking shade, dude.
Hey, what shade did I
Throwing
throw?
some-
I didn't
just
show no damn
po-
shade.
Yeah, you were, dude.
You want to see some shade? Here, I'll show you some shade, bitch. Here's some shade, Scotty.
I don't like this, dude. Paul.
That's fucked up.
I
Do you have another one that goes the other way for me?
Do I?
am a stupid...
Oh, man,
No,
no.
you-
I don't think I do, honestly.
Oh,
I didn't-
great.
I thought you had
Honestly,
like...
I was gonna make 2, but then I got distracted, and I actually did end up making this.
Oh, man. That's fucked up, TJ.
Feed me big juicy dicks, for I am gay.
Oh, man. This. Why did we let TJ run this? How did we not see this coming? He's going to be putting dunce caps on us the whole episode and making us say awful shit.
No.
No.
TJ, I told you.
Sweetie. No, I would never.
Come to Dot's Diner.
All right.
TJ, how do you
man.
want your Philly cheesesteak, sweetie?
Anyway.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this, but
But no, hold on. I just want to briefly finish.
Oh, yeah. Walk.
This is anyway. The whole point of whatever the fuck is going on is that when we reach these 2,000 patrons, you guys are going to get a live 12-hour show.
An amazing spectacle.
So that's going to be cool. And at 3,000, we're going to upgrade our studio and get some new equipment and shit and upgrade this show. We're going to fucking pour some serious resources into that.
Cool.
So that's going to be a big show upgrade. So that's cool. The more patrons we have, the more we can do with this format and with this show. So we thank you guys for supporting us. We thank you for seeing the potential here. I'm going to stop licking your balls. Maybe Paul still remembers what he was going to say. Let's see.
What I was going to say about what?
That's what I thought. All right, so.
What? Wait a minute. What? What just happened?
I don't know, Paul.
You said you wanted to say something.
Yeah, you were saying something. I said, hold on, Paul.
Oh, yeah.
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 Oh, I thought at the top of the conspiracy shit, we didn't really talk about this, but it would be fun to ask just amongst us, do you guys believe in any conspiracy theories? Are you a believer in any conspiracies?
There is one.
Okay, which one?
I'm trying to remember what it is because it was very recently that it happened.
Oh, shit. So it's an actual, like, new conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it was something. I can't even fucking remember what it was. I'll tell. It'll probably occur to me at some point.
All
just
right.
talking during the show. But
What about you, Paul?
I will. I
'Cause
will
my
say.
my answer's not interesting. No, I don't really believe in any conspiracy.
I will say that
Except the ones that are in fact proven to be actually not be conspiracy.
with
theories,
all the
but that's
9/11 shit. Okay?
Yeah.
With all the 9/11 shit. I don't believe most of the conspiracies they have about it. I don't believe that it was a missile that hit the Pentagon. I don't
Right.
believe
or a missile
that there was,
a missile that downed the plane.
I don't believe
too.
there was controlled demolitions.
Obviously not.
I don't think that
No.
there was a missile that shot the plane. But would I put it totally past our government to say, hey, we know this attack is going to happen, but we have this, foreign policy agenda we really want to aggressively pursue that we can't justify right now, but we could justify it if we were attacked by a Middle East target.
There are some things about the 9/11 story that really bother me. One of them is the fact that the United States government hasn't admitted that they shot down that plane over Pennsylvania. The third plane in 9/11. Like the one that they claim that a bunch of heroes stormed the cabin or whatever and beat up the terrorists.
Was that United 93?
Yeah, 93.
Yeah.
That story just reeks to me of bullshit. And there are aspects of that story that reek to me of bullshit too. Like the claims that as they were flying, people got cell phone calls from people that were on that plane. The last time I checked, cell phones don't work on a plane. You can't and back then they didn't have that like premium cell phone digital service shit. But that's part of the legit story is that some of the people on 93 called their loved ones before they stormed the cabin and took over the plane and it fell into the ground.
The famous thing was the guy was like, "Let's roll."
Yeah, let's roll. That whole story reeks to me. What I think is way more plausible is that the United States government scrambled a bunch of jets and thought it was going to be a threat to a target somewhere in D.C. and shot it the fuck down before it could get there.
I kind of wish Galen was here because he could tell you about he's big into the JFK conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
He knows a lot more about it than I do. Paul, you're kind of into the Kurt Cobain conspiracy as well.
Yeah, that's a big one, and might actually be a topic for a future episode of DFF.
Yeah, we didn't pull anything for it here tonight, but you do believe that Kurt Cobain was murdered, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't really know on that one. I think you brought up some interesting stuff to my attention, but I've never really done the in-depth research and stuff.
There's a lot
You
of...
know what's really weird to me
Yeah.
About that topic is... in the most recent Marilyn Manson video, he has Courtney Love as his nurse in the video, and I saw him recently talking about Kurt Cobain's death, and he started kind of talking about it in a conspiracy kind of way, And he started talking. I forget his exact words, but it was kind of like, I don't want to. I don't want to say. He said like when Kurt committed suicide. Oh, well, I don't want to say he committed suicide because we don't know. There's a lot of other theories out there and shit.
Right.
I just think it's weird, and this is when he was already actively working with Courtney. They'd done some little posts together on Instagram and shit. So it's kind of weird to me, I guess, that he has he's like, well, maybe the murder story is true, but I still hang out with her.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That just sounds very Manson, though.
I think,
why would he care?
I
think rationally you have to kind of say, knowing someone has a greater emotional impact on you, and you're going to be like, you might take that a little bit more seriously. I think he's just saying what everyone really thinks is that. Even if Paul believes, Kurt Cobain was murdered, he doesn't know.
I don't know it for now. I don't ever die on that hill. Like it's an absolute. I might do it in an argument, just in a funny way. But I will never say that I know for a fact. All I know is that the official story stinks.
I think we should do an episode on it, honestly. But we're not doing it tonight. But it is another conspiracy you believe in. I wish I could fucking remember the one that I believe. Because there was something that came up a couple months ago where it was like, oh, shit, now I guess I kind of believe in that conspiracy. But whatever, don't remember, so fuck it. Why do people believe in conspiracy theories?
That's a good question.
You guys really didn't, when you patrons told us what you wanted, you really didn't give us a specific, we want you to talk about this conspiracy theory or that conspiracy theory. You just kind of gave us an overall, talk about conspiracy theories. So let's kind of delve in a general way, and then we'll look at some specific examples.
Well, yeah, you have to kind of examine what a conspiracy is and how it came into the mainstream culture zeitgeist. When did people start really talking about conspiracy theories as a serious thing?
So this is from a website called Owlcation. There's a big, long article. I wanted to focus in on this part because I think it kind of is a good opening thing. It offers a nice little definition of what a conspiracy theory is. It says, so why is it that we have conspiracy theories in the first place? Well, there's a few reasons. In an article on our great American heritage, Alan Cornwell explains, Conspiracies are alternative stories about real events. These stories develop because a part of our society refuses to accept the official explanation. Political scientist Michael Barkin has defined conspiracy theories in such a way that gives another explanation. Barkin says that conspiracy theories rely on the idea that the universe is governed by design, and they have three principles. Nothing happens by accident, nothing is as it seems, and everything is connected. And finally, anthropologist David Graeber has stated, it's the most peaceful societies, which are also the most haunted in their imaginative constructions of the cosmos by constant specters of perennial war. This idea can be extrapolated and applied to conspiracy theorists to suggest that perhaps they are simply bored. They want to alleviate this boredom by imagining there is a shadowy organization out there planning some catastrophic destruction of the world. So here we have three different ideas being posited. The first one is that people simply, there's certain people in society who just don't, they hear an official explanation for certain
Government
events,
lie,
and they're
they
just
lie.
like, oh, it's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit.
So there's like just an inherent mistrust of government officials. Kind
Yes.
of built in.
Not even government authority.
Or just any
authority in
any
general.
authority that tells them what to think. It's like, I think there's a paranoia there of like, don't tell me how to think or what to think or what the truth is.
know what's-
Has it always been that way though, or is that something that it's developed in us over
Oh,
time?
I don't. I think it's always been like that. I think that humans have just an inherent mistrust for authority.
I mean, there's definitely people who have a pathological aversion to authority. I mean, I think that, it's in a lot of instances, I feel like I have that. I feel like Scotty has that. I feel like you have that. There's just a certain resentment towards someone who's like, I'm going to tell you what's what and how things are.
Right.
And it's almost like if you're a kid and your dad tells you something, for a while you take it, oh, it's the gospel fucking truth because my dad said so. But when you get to that age of like you start questioning things,
yeah, you gotta bow up. Like, no, Dad.
then you almost at some point in your life you try to construct like the opposite philosophy of whatever your father believes in to just be like, fuck you, Dad.
Right.
So maybe there's a little bit of that going on. Like, they look at daddy government and say, oh, fuck this. This is bullshit.
You know what's crazy,
I'll
too?
tell you what's really happening.
Is how closely conspiracy theories, like the mindset you need to be in, is the same one as real religion, and the same kind of thing. Nothing happened by accident. Nothing happened by chance. The universe didn't start just by sheer chance or probability.
Well, that gets into that Michael Barkin guy's three principles of conspiracy theories, which is nothing happens by accident, nothing is as it seems, and everything is connected.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, there's certain people who are just way more. I mean, human beings in general are pattern-seeking animals, right? But certain people seem to be like way more into it than others.
I've heard that like paranoia been described as it's like an overdevelopment of that pattern-seeking behavior.
Yeah, pattern recognition.
Yeah, it's like you're a certain amount of that is obviously beneficial to us as a species, but when your brain takes it too far, that's where these kind of fantasies get made.
And Paul, I think a lot of this, you've talked about this kind of stuff with me in personal conversations, maybe in show conversations as well, where it's like you talk about like man as he was evolved to be, like the hunter-gatherer, the person living the primitive existence where, it's good that we can seek patterns because we're on the hunt, It's like, oh, I see footprints, so it must have come through here and all that.
Right.
And, you put that into this strange environment.
Insane world that we live in.
Yeah, that human beings were not evolved for, and, that fucking pattern recognition shit starts going crazy. People start making connections that don't make any sense.
Yep. I think that's the root of a lot of this.
Oh yeah, I don't really think much of the third idea, the David Graeber. People are just bored.
Yeah, I don't really
They just
feel
want to
like
make their world more exciting.
I feel like that's the laziest of the three potential. Like that, like they called this expert, and he was like, "People are bored." Next, like what? I mean, maybe they are, and maybe that has a role in it. But to say that that's the foundational reason,
I would say maybe it's because people feel more restrained and more restricted now. I mean, especially with the rise of social media, where everything you do you can be called to account for. Like, oh, you made this statement. Because I mean, you think about it. Let's like say Paul makes a racist comment, just for example.
what?
Paul makes a racist comment. He's at Starbucks or he's at wherever Paul fucking goes and hang out, which is pretty much nowhere. But we'll say,
And I'm like, gas the Mexican.
yeah. in times past, if you went on a rant about Mexicans or whoever's ruining the country, it just would have been the people there and been like, that guy was a dick. But now someone whips out a phone and goes, let me record this.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
You know, I feel
it's
like
the name and shame culture right now, man.
Let's talk about another aspect of this that's not mentioned here in this article, but I think is fair enough. Someone in our chat actually has brought it up. Crypto Merch Club in our chat here says, I think it's partly because the media and government often do lie about other things. So it's like when you see that there actually is reason to not trust these sources of authority, because we can, I mean, like, can we point to specific instances where media has lied? I mean, constantly. Can we point to specific instances where the government has lied?
Yes.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
But you have to consider, is it malicious, nefarious, or is it incompetency? But
I mean, like
probably
like the Gulf of Tonkin. That's malicious and nefarious.
Yeah.
That was something, that was a complete black op that was fabricated just to justify America's involvement in the war. So
give them a brief overview, Paul.
I mean, I don't know very much about the Gulf of Tonkin incident, honestly.
Okay.
But I do know that there was an American patrol boat that was supposedly torpedoed by some fucking South Korean submarine, right?
They were basically what it was that they had U.S. ships in that area of the world, and they were attacked basically without provocation. They didn't provoke the attack by, I think, the Viet Cong or the northern Vietnamese forces.
Right.
And that was justification. See, they're attacking us over there, so now we have to go send troops in.
Right. They were trying to create that artificial kind of outpouring of support that people get when something bad happens and some other country blows something up of ours, you know?
But it was a false flag.
But it was a total false flag. It was completely and utterly perpetrated by the United States government through the military and supported by the media.
Just like the Reichstag, burning of the Reichstag in Germany.
Exactly like that.
Raising Hitler to power. I
mean, the Iran-Contra is another one that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Where we were funding fucking two sides of a war, you know what I mean? Using one war to funnel money to another war that we supported and funnel guns.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We can't give these guys guns and money directly, so we'll have another war.
Right.
And then they'll funnel the money for us, you know. So, yeah, well, I mean, of course the U.S., I mean, China does it, the U.S. does it, all these major powers do this, engage in this kind of behavior. I mean, it's like when we call out Russia, it's like, you don't think that we're doing shit in Russia? You know, I mean, come on now. Like, all these powers are doing this, and of course they're lying to their citizens, because the citizens don't even know.
All right, here's someone who has an interesting take on the boredom hypothesis. They're not as dismissive of it. This is H3V Tux.
Okay.
Says, I think people see that everything in the history books is focused on big events and paradigm shifts, and people don't want to live in a boring time.
But the thing is that nobody does. Nobody lives in a boring time. Like, even our perception.
I mean, 9/11 happened in my lifetime.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we live in some of the. Like, every fucking new generation lives in the craziest time to be alive. Like, that's just. And it goes. You can follow that back probably to the beginning. You know, when Adam and Eve were tempted by the serpent and all that.
Yeah.
No, like, yeah, I just don't think that I think that boredom just minimalizes it too much. I think that boredom might play a role, but I think that there's way more going on psychologically.
Maybe they mean boredom in the sense that you're not. Most humans, especially in the developed world, are not struggling for their lives.
Sure.
There's not this life and death struggle. So now, like, we live relatively peaceful, calm lives for the most part, especially compared to the past.
Right.
So maybe that part of our brain, you know, that, like you said, like, you know, what you're hunting.
It's not boredom in the sense of like, oh man, life sucks, I'm just gonna make up some bullshit to make it more interesting. But it's like, we don't have that, like, you know, we're not fucking fending off our kill against wolves or some shit anymore. So.
That's the thing that freaks me out when I think about our early ancestors and shit, is like, we still have that brain. Fundamentally, we're no different. I mean, yeah, there's probably been some minor, you know, shifts in
very
our
minute. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, all in all, we're pretty much the same thing that they were. We've got the same brain, the same body structure, and yet look at how different those lives. Look at what they evolved all of those things to deal with, and then look at what we deal with as a modern society and tell me how any of that makes sense. So it just totally makes sense to me that people's brains do weird things in this society, because, like, how the fuck are we prepared to live on top of each other and stare at a fucking TV all day and sit in an office cubicle all day and type?
I think the answer is obvious. We're not. I mean, if you see why the world is so, I mean, why do you think we have so many people fighting in conflicts and wars over shit that, I mean, we all logically know, like, it's really not beneficial to humanity for us all to be fighting about shit nonstop. But we're too tribalistic. We're too tied to the past. We're not evolved enough away from that.
Right.
You know, that's
we're still like, our brains on some level are still in that, like, take fag women. You know what I mean?
I know that you watch TNG. The first episode of TNG kind of deals with that. Humanity goes on trial.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, look at all this despicable shit humanity has done, and, you know, you kind of recognize how barbaric humans would seem to aliens or other species or whatever.
Yeah.
And you kind of look at humanity through a more objective lens, and it's like, yeah, we pretty much are constantly in a state. If you look at this, people have been fighting since there have been people, killing each other.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, for what? You know, I mean, sometimes maybe it was for resources, but, you know, for the most part, most people...
Disagreements.
You know, most people fucking can actually... if humanity worked cohesively, there would be no starving people. There'd be really nothing that bad.
What about the whole... I mean, like, to me, a lot of it stems from this, like, can't catch a fucking break sort of mentality, too. Like, this, like, it's just the whole deck is always stacked up against me, and the world just isn't how I want it to be. And they don't want to believe that, you know, maybe people are trying their fucking best to make the world, you know, into something decent or whatever. And you know, it's like people are trying to make this shit work. It's just really fucking hard. They have to think that everything that happens is somehow there's someone in control.
There's some force against them.
Like, you know, like everything bad that happens is not just human incompetency. It's an evil agency somewhere.
Well, I mean, isn't the deck stacked, though?
I mean,
aren't those people right?
But look, I think this is what people forget. Like, if you see a barnyard and you see a bunch of chickens, and the pecking order, there's still a pecking order with humans.
Oh, yeah.
And people just forget that. You're part of a hierarchy, so you're going like, I'm struggling really bad, but this other person is doing really well. It's like, they're just higher in the social hierarchy than you are.
It's just the percentage of people that are in the lower part of that social hierarchy keeps growing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, especially as the population increases.
I mean, but I mean, if you consider, I mean, like, of course, it's like basically an adjustment, a correction. Like, something new happened with the Industrial Revolution, the Scientific Revolution, and, you know, the middle class, like, ooh, look how big it's getting, and now it's contracting yet again because the elites are like, okay, that's how we exert control.
All right,
that's how we
let's
do
take a little look at the next article. This is from Axios. An article called "The Science of Conspiracies: Where Flat Earth Meets Pizzagate."
A flat pizza, dude.
Fake news was rampant through the 2016 election. Fake news.
Fake.
And it's still around, but it's hardly new. People have believed in conspiracy theories for ages, and scientists are no stranger to combating them. The bottom line, from anti-vaccine conspiracies to climate change denial to those who believe in modern fake news, many conspiracy theories are united by one idea. Nothing is an accident. They never accept randomness, says Stephen Lewandowski, a cognitive scientist at the University of Bristol who studies climate change denial. So what an interesting thing to study. What's happening? Fake news, conspiracy theories, and denial of science were the focus of many talks at the annual meeting of the American Association for the Advancement of Sciences in Austin this weekend.
I mean, but can you blame them?
Who the believers are. Conspiracy theories are not inherently partisan, and neither are anti-science ideas. Liberals and conservatives believe falsehoods about genetically modified organisms and believe that vaccines cause autism, but some conspiracy theories are distinctly partisan. Who is susceptible? Everyone. Researchers have shown that exposure to conspiracy theories, even ones you don't believe, can impact your worldviews. Then they kind of get into this flat Earth thing, and they kind of talk about the traits of the flat Earthers.
Well, this is a breakdown of who
attended this conference.
So let's see. Most, but not all attendees were white and male. Oh, you white males.
Fucking white males.
Most, but not all attendees were biblical literalists and believed in young Earth creation stories. So basically, they're creationists.
Just another conspiracy theory.
Although many were deeply religious, they distrusted organized religion. What a shock!
Well, yeah, because they're all telling them the Earth's round. You know.
Many were introduced to the flat Earth via YouTube, where they initially watched 9/11 conspiracy videos like Loose Change. The YouTube autoplay function eventually led them to the flat Earth video. So they basically went down the YouTube rabbit hole.
Yep.
They like to try do-it-yourself science and encourage each other to design experiments that show the Earth is flat.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into them a little. We're gonna get into them
Oh,
a lot later,
I love flat Earthers, dude.
People who believe one conspiracy are likely to believe others. So most people, when they go to the conspiracy buffet, they're picking out. There's one big exception, apparently. The people All Shanky interviewed do not believe there was any Russian involvement in the 2016 election, which likely reflects the partisan bias of flat earthers. I mean, whatever. The media's role, yeah, okay. So I mean, there's enough we can unpack there. I think the thing that really grabs me, and I wish they would get into more, is this part where they say researchers have shown that exposure to conspiracy theories, even ones you don't believe, can impact your worldview. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about that. They don't go into, because that's weird.
I mean, to me, that rubs me the wrong way. And this is maybe kind of a digression.
Maybe it's like an overcorrection. So when there's wild conspiracy theories, maybe your worldview tends to overcorrect against those ideas.
Yeah, I wish they would actually. I wish they would get into this or link to something.
I would say that I'd say that when you have to debunk or you basically have to discuss conspiracy theories, like let's say climate change denial, then you actually have to give it credibility that it probably doesn't even really truly deserve. So then you're basically forced to respond to say, well, because at a certain point, enough people have talked about these issues, where you have to actually treat them seriously. So it's like climate change denial in the U.S. Like in most countries, it's not much of a debate. There's a few crazy people who are like, it's not happening, the Earth's getting colder. But here it's like, it's seen as a serious scientific debate. There's a lot of people like, it's all bullshit, it ain't happening. I'll tell you what. You know, and it's like you're like, no, it is. Here's all the evidence that it is happening, and it's just denial. But you have to address that denial. So ultimately you have to give that attention and media time. You know what I mean? That's what I would see it as. Is that so? Then it gets to more people's minds. Like, oh wait, is that true? It's like vaccines. They spent so much time talking about it, but I think ultimately it's convinced a lot more people that what is like, because they hear something, they hear vaccines, hear autism. And then they start believing that. They start hearing.
Oh, dude, that shit is rampant on Facebook. I actually have one of my stepsisters is an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
I mean, so
what are her politics? Because that's one that it kind of
it's all over the place. Actually,
that's not like they get into this article about the anti-partisan thing. That's how it's not really partisan. That's one that's really rampant on both sides of the political aisle.
Yeah, she's conservative, as far as I know. Probably not super outspoken, but yeah, she definitely leans to the conservative side of things. But this anti-vax shit is really the only thing I've ever seen her speak out about. And
it's on both sides, though. I mean, like if you go to one, it's almost at its worst in like the most liberal areas of California.
Seattle's a big area.
Yeah, Seattle, Portland. It's bad. It's bad in Portland. Like it's just. The fear and mistrust of GMOs, that's another thing that's real rampant in these liberal areas.
It's so stupid to be afraid of.
I mean, everybody is, though. Now it's like a marketing thing to be like non-GMO.
Oh, yeah, the non-GMO project, yeah.
Like on both sides of the aisle, people are buying up that shit.
Oh, dude, it's so weird because I'll go shopping, I'll see that in like a bag of chips. Like, these are non-GMO chips. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
What?
Do they taste good?
Yeah, they taste the same as other tortilla chips, but they're not. I can rest assured knowing they're non-GMO.
There's absolutely nothing. Like, they're not adding anything to it. They're just changing genetic information.
The corn is if you don't see the label.
There's nothing they could do to it that's going to make it fucking like, oh, now it's poison or something.
It means it's more drought resistant or pest resistant.
That's
what it means.
The corn is going to fucking start walking around and fucking attacking people at night of the corn. You know?
It's the same thing behind organic. You know, people argue about organic, and like, and some fruits have thinner skin, so it makes more sense. But like organic bananas don't. It doesn't really matter.
Well, people don't understand. Like the bananas that we buy now, that's a process of slow genetic modification. We
yeah.
domesticated the wild banana and over the generations bred it to be more edible and shippable and all of that shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, like
It's a species of
look
herb,
at what
that's
we've
all
done
it
to
is.
fucking look at what we did to the gray wolf with all these varieties of dog that we have.
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying. Like
we have always been genetic manipulators.
Oh, well, I mean, that's why that Ray Comfort video he made years ago was just so derided by the skeptic community. It was like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. This is not how God created a banana. This is
yeah, go look at a banana in the wild. You
Yeah.
retard.
This is
It's like a big fat pod full of
This is
seeds and
artificial
shit.
selection and selective breeding to make the tastiest fruit. That's the fruits you eat are either grown to be bigger, so you have more of it, or it's tastier.
Yeah, the GMO thing is just a faster way to do that. That's
Yep.
all it is. It's not. I mean, like they're not fucking making it sentient or something. I just don't understand the concerns.
Now we don't have to take like 80 generations to get a banana perfected. We can just skip the line
All
a
right,
little
so
bit.
we're going to do a little bit more on the appeal of these conspiracies. Let me just pull up a video. This is from a YouTube channel.
And website, I think it's Lifehacker.
This is from this is Lifehacker.
Yeah.
And we're just going to take a look. It's
Cool
called
little video on conspiracy
The
theories.
Appeal of Conspiracy Theories. I'm just going to play it up here in the corner. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing. We'll just
It's
take
not very
The
long.
appeal of conspiracy theories. According to a poll from Fairleigh Dickinson University, over half of American adults believe in at least one conspiracy theory.
I know that's supposed to be tinfoil hats, but they just look like they're wearing big condoms.
Yeah,
on
big
their
old
heads.
condoms on their
They're
heads.
green dudes with condoms.
And though subscribing to conspiracies is more rampant in some personality types and social demographics than others, false narratives of one form or another are held by people across all racial, economic, and political backgrounds. In an age when access to information from legitimate sources are only a click away, why are conspiracy theories still so prevalent? What makes them so appealing? Well, there are quite a few psychological factors that lead to the belief in conspiracy theories. In the game of survival, the human mind has become hardwired to believe in intentional causality. If you hear a rustling noise in the bushes, it's a safer bet to believe that it's a threat rather than presume it's just the wind. Dismissing the noise may lead to danger, but believing that there is a threat means you'll take action to avoid harm, regardless if there's something actually there.
So that gets into something we were already talking about. Just
Right.
The way our brains are created, you know. The rustling in the bushes. Yeah, I mean, if you just say, oh, well, that's just the fucking wind. Who gives a shit? And then it is a fucking, wolf that's going to jump out and bite your fucking, guts out.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that served humanity well. It's like you go outside and it's dark out. You're not going to be all like, oh, I'm not afraid of this at all. You're going to be like, there might be some out there. I mean, you might not be terrified, but you're going to be more on edge.
I mean,
like,
is it any
what
wonder
could be in the darkness?
Is it any wonder, too, that it seems like maybe these conspiracies are a little more prevalent among fucking men, too? Like, because...
We're the ones that, in the early days of humanity would have been defending and doing most of the fighting and protecting and all of that shit.
Yeah, I feel like, women, when they go out in public, I mean, they can definitely be cautious and worried and all that stuff. I'm not saying they don't, but it seems like I know a lot more men who are just like constantly like on their guard and always fucking scanning for a threat.
I
from
see,
somewhere.
TJ. So you do not take rape culture seriously.
I mean, hey, you should
I am offended.
don't get raped. It's a bad thing.
So in some ways, we have evolved to err on the side of paranoid belief. Another major factor is human beings' superior pattern processing. As a species, one of our greatest strengths is our ability to find meaningful patterns in the world around us and to make causal inferences. Pattern processing is at the heart of our ability to use language, understand and navigate our environment, and project future outcomes. But identifying patterns is an automatic process of the mind, and therefore can lead to the formulation of false patterns. This is the reason we see faces in inanimate objects, create relationships between events that are really just coincidence, and is a contributing factor to why we believe in conspiracy theories. There is also our tendency towards confirmation bias. Acknowledging that we are wrong about something is a difficult thing for most of us to admit. This is especially true of concepts and ideas that we associate with our worldview. These are
So this is kind of positing that some people are just stubborn about it. Like, they don't want to be wrong, and so it reinforces their belief when they're challenged.
I mean, people definitely can be stubborn. I mean, like, There's been times where, like, you know, you get in a fucking argument with somebody about something. I mean, like, I think we've all been in a position where it's like, oh shit, I'm wrong about
I'm
this.
definitely
But
wrong,
we're not,
yeah.
you know, you usually don't have the fucking, you have it within yourself, because usually you're pissed at the person you're arguing with. You usually don't want to be like, actually, it turns out you're right now that I think about it.
But, you know, you
want to go back and lick your wounds and then come back with a modified position later, you know?
Well, we've all had, especially the three of us, have had debates with people about, you know, things like religion or vaccines or whatever. And it's not like you talk to the other person and they go, oh, you evolutionists suddenly have convinced me I now believe in evolution, and I'm glad that we talked about this. You know, most people are not just going to abandon their positions. I mean, look, if someone's willing to believe at this point that evolution is false, they're an idiot. There's overwhelming evidence. There's just mountains of it. But just because you argue with somebody and show them that evidence doesn't mean they're going to accept it as true.
But I mean, like, how much of it is just stubbornness, like like, you know, I believe what I believe and I'm not willing to fucking change my mind.
I mean, that there seems to be a real streak of that in some people, like a real streak of wanting to be their own, to go their own way on everything, or at least to be perceived as a person who does that. And that kind of stubbornness can probably attract a lot of people to this type of shit.
I mean, in the world we live in, too, I mean, that's catered to now more than ever. I mean, like, before Alex Jones, I mean, Alex Jones would never make it onto a mainstream airway. Like, you know, they were going to put him on Channel 3. But
I don't know. Never say never, man. He's huge.
No, but I'm saying, but now you have these little niche audiences. I'm saying because of YouTube and these other platforms, that's why these sites really crack down on these people, because they're honestly, they're afraid. They're terrified. It's like, wow, this Alex Jones guy can come out and peddle total bullshit. And millions of people go, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense to me.
You know, another thing about the confirmation bias thing is like, and this is something I've got into before. It's like, there was a time before the mass communications of the internet when a fucking person who had a crazy belief maybe just suspected they were crazy. Because you hear this a lot of times from these people, like, I thought I was crazy until I found this group who also believes this crazy bullshit. So, like, you know, now a lot of this stuff is getting reinforced, because if these people can find some other people who agree with them, you know, they can be heroes against the rest of the world. Oh, the rest of the world believes this this lie, but, you know, our group, we have the fucking truth.
Look at all the internet subcultures, dude. Like,
that's what I mean. Like, how long in human history has there ever been a time where it was easier for people to connect and confirm each other's biases than now?
No, easily not.
I mean, like, there was times, like, if you decided, when, you know, if you're living in fucking 60 or something, and you decide, like, I think I'm like a wolf inside.
Yeah, I'm a dragon. You know,
you're gonna keep that shit to yourself till your dying fucking day.
Right.
You know, but now it's like, oh, you meet some other people. I think I'm a stapler inside. Yeah, we both have the same thing. You know, we're other kin. We're fiction kin. We're this kin or that kin. You know, it's like, that's just an example. I mean, like, there's tons of people who probably would have never ended up sharing their crazy fucking thoughts and ideas with anyone. But now it's easy to find a whole bunch of people who have the same crazy ideas, or crazy ideas that are close enough that you guys can be like, yeah, let's compare notes.
It goes beyond that. Same lifestyle, same beliefs, whatever. I mean, like, the internet is just a crazy tool that, you know, it's really just changed the face of humanity. And like you said, I mean, years ago, it's like people will say all these weirdos. Like, no, all these weirdos probably existed. It's just that who are they going to tell? You were never going to hear about them. They were never going to get that kind of traction. But if there's enough other kin in a room yelling about their shit, even people like us who are not involved in that subculture are going to know about it to some degree.
Right. And the thing is that the more people you can get into your group, the more appealing the group looks to people who are out there disenfranchised. Maybe people who aren't even driven to it by the beliefs, but they just see, like, oh, here's
the community.
Here's a group of people. Here's a community. I could be part of this, you know?
Makes sense.
All I got to do is believe the same shit. Oh, yeah, the Earth's flat. Totally flat.
So just like loneliness, then, you think, drives some people into this?
Loneliness, need for connection, need to feel like they're part of something.
Same thing with cults. I mean, it's kind of crazy how all these things just come full circle and are connected in these just, maybe not directly, but in tangential ways with these same sort of, like, thought patterns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
ideas that we strongly connect with, and admitting that they are incorrect can feel like we are admitting that there is something wrong with us personally. This leads us to give more weight to evidence that supports what we already believe, and ignore evidence that contradicts those beliefs. There is also our innate tendency to assume that big events have big causes. For instance, the president being killed by a single shooter acting alone feels unbalanced. That is why a covert government conspiracy with multiple shooters feels more plausible, despite the evidence otherwise. Another contributing factor is projection. This is an unconscious impulse to deny negative qualities in ourselves while attributing them to others. For those who actively conspire and lie, they reflexively believe that others are acting similarly, making conspiracies more plausible and widespread. In general, people don't resort to lying unless they feel weak or powerless, which brings us to our last conspiracy generator. All of these factors become more exacerbated at times when we feel powerless or when our lives and the world around us seem out of control. Fear jumpstarts our amygdala and directs our brain to assess the situation, take stock of the patterns around us, and seek out a remedy. We are desperately looking for a way to restore our sense of agency.
I feel like that little dude right there sweating in the center of all those logos, dude. Like, I can totally identify with this one, man.
The Illuminati.
Holy shit, man.
All Illuminati, New World Order pyramid surrounding you, Paul, like in a circle.
I mean, just like when he was sitting there looking nervously back and forth as fucking corporate logos appeared around him, I was just like, oh my God, it's me every day when I wake up.
Oh God, they're everywhere.
Oh God, what is that?
They're every fucking where.
Why does this exist? No, please.
And we'll convince ourselves we know what is going on, even if that means reassuring ourselves with a narrative that has no basis in fact. That said, not all conspiracy theories are false. Some indeed turn out to be true. That is why it's always important to keep an open mind, weigh all the evidence, determine if the sources are legitimate, and be careful not to be seduced by the lurid appeal of a juicy conspiracy just because it supports something you want to believe.
All right, fair enough.
He wants to believe he's going to have Elvis hair.
I mean, don't we live in a time, though, when weighing all the evidence is totally impossible? Because a lot of that evidence is based on what you're told by some authority figure. So
yeah, I mean, if you have an inherent distrust of, okay, everything I'm told by the government is a lie.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have that as a premise, then any evidence that comes from that source, you're just going to totally discount. You're not going to be like, oh, well, I got to weigh the evidence of the evil Illuminati versus what the heroic good truth tellers are speaking.
You just have to be, you have to use your critical thinking skills and just, I think about as rationally as possible. I mean, honestly, you have to have some sort of belief in something to a degree. I mean, like, we were never at these school shootings. We were never at a lot of these major pill events. Like, none of us were in New York when 9/11 happened, but we know it happened, or we believe it happened.
Right.
Now, you might argue about what happened or who are the players or all that. That's all debatable. But I think if you get to the point where you question every single event, say, how do you know? How do you know? I need proof of everything. I mean, at a certain point, there's a standard that's just too high for you to meet.
Yeah, well, I mean, but on top of that, we have examples of the government in the past actively lying its fucking ass off to the people it governs in order to get some position in a war or make money or
of course the government's gonna
geopolitical exploitation or whatever the fuck. So it's just like we have to inherently mistrust everything the government says.
I mean, I think we're at a point where you kind of have to have at least some level of distrust towards every single thing that you see, read, hear. I mean, like, there has to be fucking strong skepticism. You can't take it for granted that anyone is telling you
everyone should be a skeptic,
unvarnished truth.
Yeah, everyone should be a skeptic of everything they hear. I mean, like I said, at a certain point, you go too far down the rabbit hole, then it's like you have the dilemma of what do I really believe then? What should I trust? What should I do? I mean, you can't become paralyzed by it, I think, to a degree. But I think a healthy level of skepticism is normal and pragmatic.
I mean, because I see like the anti-conspiracy people, like with the 9/11 stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Popular Mechanics released an article at one point, and then there was this giant crushing movement of people that went, see, case closed, book closed, done, blah, 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 blah. Now, Popular Mechanics article addressed some of the wilder conspiracy theories that were swirling around 9/11. But it didn't go into a lot of the other things, like, the financial shit that went on in the days leading up to 9/11. These just strange, fucking huge trades that were done on airline stocks and shit. And then and this was looked into. But how do we believe the excuse that was given? The excuse was, yes, there was an unusually high trading on airline stocks in the days leading up to 9/11. But after looking into those trades, there's just innocuous excuses for it. It's just one of those crazy things that happen. And it's like, really? So a bunch of people made a bunch of fucking money on a
for sure, too, that there were people out there who knew something about this being at least planned.
We knew the president himself.
The president had
the CIA report. Yeah,
the CIA reported on it. So the people in the intelligence community knew about this. Were they giving fucking insider tips and shit? And if so, does that mean that they knew it was imminent, that it was going to happen, and they just allowed it to happen, or were they making some effort to stop it or to find out more about it?
See, that's the problem. You can't weigh the evidence of any of this. All you can do is make inferences. And if you're going into it with the idea that I'm a skeptic and I have a healthy mistrust of whatever the government says to me until I can confirm it, and some shit like this rears its head, and the official story is just a crazy trading day, just an anomaly, you know what I mean? Just all innocuous. But a bunch of powerful people made a bunch of fucking money on this event. What are you supposed to do with that?
And that this event was used to curtail civil rights. And that this event was used to justify
multiple wars,
endless fucking wars.
But it's all about a lot of problems with this. What happens, like I said, is it leads to what you do is you just question. Well, I have this question hasn't answered. This question, and this question, and so it's like I see where you guys are coming from on the point to say, well, all these things happen. And there's never really been a good rational explanation for them that really makes any logical sense. But at the same time, it's like I think it's we have to be pragmatic and realize that the government's never going to give us the full fucking story.
The thing is too is like when you put an event under the kind of scrutiny that 9/11's been.
These questions are naturally going to occur.
I mean, there's going to be. I mean, like we have to allow that the possibility of weird coincidences.
Sure,
we have to allow that. But
weird coincidences that lead to people making big bales of money are the ones that make a question mark.
That does happen every day too. There's people that are making millions and billions of dollars.
I mean, the
every
stock
day.
market does have anomalies. There's days, okay, a lot of people did this, a lot of people did that. I mean, there's been.
How manipulated is the fucking stock market?
Oh,
very,
totally.
So it's like, are these really anomalies, or are these just little opportunities for people that have insider information to make a quick buck by taking downturn bets on the fucking stocks right before they go?
Maybe there was people within the elite who had connections within the intelligence, agencies.
But there's a lot of
this stuff or got.
But there's a lot of hedge funds and stuff, and there's a lot of these brokerage firms that specialize in shorting stocks and things like that.
See, I just for me, I understand that last part about you got to be open-minded and you got to be a skeptic. But at some point, when it comes to shit like this, if the government did have some hand in 9/11 or allowed it to happen and benefited from it and used it against us in some way, that's dangerous to us. And it's dangerous to go, I'm just a hard skeptic on that. Yeah. Because while you're being a hard skeptic and going, I can't, I'm not going to call it because there's really no evidence, they're fucking you up your asshole.
I think that we need to accept that the government is fucking us in the ass, and so is big business. And
I totally accept.
And they're doing it together.
But see, you don't need. I don't use the catalyst of 9/11 to do that. I look at the totality of the way the government treats its citizens and the way this country is basically. We're letting infrastructure fail. We fight endless wars overseas and shit like that. It's the decisions made by the people in power that don't benefit the majority of people that make me distrust the government.
There's plenty of stuff that we have on the government and on big business that 9/11. It's like one of those things where it's like, hey, could you put can you put every shady thing past them? No. But is that really the most solid evidence of why they're duplicitous scum fucks who are trying to destroy us and, exploit us at every fucking turn? No. There's better fucking ways of doing it. But I mean, I don't put it past them. I definitely I don't, like I said, I don't claim to know anything, but
I mean, just the way everything worked out for people. You know what I mean? Like, we got a justification to go into back into Afghanistan in a big way,
and make sure,
which is a huge
and the military-industrial complex
exactly.
Fucking handsomely.
Afghanistan has been in the past and continues to be a huge geopolitical chess piece between Russia and the United States, and we have now this big impetus to put a bunch of fucking military force right there.
Not to mention a nice fucking source of precious minerals.
The mineral rights in Afghanistan.
It's like Afghanistan and Syria are just like dick measuring between the U.S. and Russia. Like, look how big my dick is. Oh, no, wait. Look how big my dick is.
So, like, this big tragedy happens, but all of the scum fucks in society just benefit. And all of these maneuvers that are just so beneficial to people that want to exploit other countries just happen to become possible because of this. And then we're expected to read Popular Mechanics and go, yep, you're right. It was a bunch of just fucking crazy jihadis that did it.
Well, another thing, though, too, is that those people in the echelon of society you're talking about tend to work everything to their fucking benefit.
Of course, that's the thing. It's like the one driving force that unifies humanity is money. That's it, dude. That's at the core of every fucking person, dude. There's just a drive for that. And I have an inherent mistrust when money is made on something that's not for everybody's best interest.
As you should. All right, let's take a look at another thing here. I'm thinking maybe we should. We've been talking for about an hour. Maybe it's time to actually get into the conspiracies themselves.
Okay.
We had some other stuff on the origins of it, but I think maybe it's time to look at some specific examples here.
Do you still have the 50% thing?
I took it down.
Took it down. Okay.
I could pull it back up if there's something from it you need.
I think that's worth mentioning. That a lot of people might think that conspiracy theories are just this like, maybe there's some crazy fringe people. But this study they did in the Washington Post quotes the study. I'm not sure who did the study. But it was actually, I think it was 8 surveys that were nationally done.
Yeah.
From 2006 to I don't know when they stopped doing them. But it found that about roughly 50% of people believe in at least one conspiracy theory. And, TJ and Paul listed the ones they believe in.
Yeah.
And maybe I haven't heard of one I believe in, but, maybe there is one that I would.
Here's a fun one. Maybe you believe in this one.
No.
The Beatles never existed.
Well, duh.
Now, unfortunately, this site seems to be down.
Too bad.
They left a little brief message here. This research began in 2011. We came to the
research, quote unquote.
We came to the conclusion that the musical group known to us as the Beatles was composed of multiples. How and in what way they were such isn't entirely known, but we have been able to see it wasn't actors with a cosmetic surgery or human doubles of any kind. Due to the fact that we've done as much research as possible and there are other more current and pressing worldwide issues confronting humanity, it is time to move on. Thank you for your interest in our work, and we hope it has been a helpful contribution to learning and understanding why the world is in its current condition and one of the major ways in which it got this way. Now, and this would make sense to me if they left up their supposed research, but they didn't. They took it all down.
Why wouldn't you just leave a page with all your research on it so that people could? Probably because there was nothing there and it was just a bunch of gobbledygook.
One of the things they said was they said that the Beatles were basically a revolving cast of actors. I guess not actors, but some sort of clones or something. And that, they were never consistently the same people. One of the evidences they use is like, look how their eyebrows changed over time.
Yeah, you can't pluck those.
It's very similar to another conspiracy I actually saw on YouTube the other day. It was talking about how Dave Chappelle, that we see now, he's basically been replaced by a government clone.
Cool.
The real Dave Chappelle was taken to a government facility, cloned and killed, and replaced with this new Dave Chappelle.
Man, they really have it down. They even got all the same memories, dude.
Yeah, and in the past, when the government has done these replacements of people, the families will notice that it's not their loved one. So this time they left no room for error. They killed Dave Chappelle's entire family.
And then they cloned them.
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
You know, and the reason they did it, I'm actually not clear on that, but they did it because I guess he wouldn't go along
Did
with
they kill Dave
agenda.
Chappelle's masseuse too? Because she's rubbing his back. Like, this feels a little bit different than your spine was last time.
Here's the thing I didn't get. They said this. They grabbed up Dave Chappelle because he said too much in an Oprah interview or whatever. They snatched him up, they cloned him, and they put out the clone, and then they showed, like, look at these 2 different pictures of Dave Chappelle. But the pictures they showed was like, here's Dave Chappelle from fucking 15 years ago, and here he is now.
Right. Like, he can't have put on muscle or changed his body type at all in 15 years.
If what you're saying is that around this time, Dave Chappelle was captured and replaced with a clone who looks slightly different, and here, wouldn't you at least get 2 pictures from around that? Here he is just before they did it. Here he is just after they did it. Look how different.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. Of course they didn't do that.
Well,
they
Dave
show a
Chappelle
picture
is
of him
aged.
now versus fucking 15 years ago, and like, look how he's different. It's like, yeah, it's called aging.
Yeah, here's TJ at 17, and here's TJ at 32 now. They look totally different. He's been replaced by a clone.
Yeah, dude. Bring back real TJ, dude. Fuck this clone TJ?
Yeah, I've seen White Guilt Paul. You don't look anything like that guy. That was obviously a different
Well, I'm
Paul.
clone Paul's ego, but I'm actually better than the old White Guilt
cool.
Paul. They didn't upgrade on me.
Well, that makes sense then. And we've, of course, when we were doing Drunken Peasants, we did all kinds of videos on these weird clone conspiracies and stuff. One of the ones that we have also kind of talked about here and there over the years, the reptilian theory.
This is a big one, too.
Oh, this is all over the place. This is a really big one. We got a few things on this, actually. This first thing we got is reptilian theory explained, because I figure we need a little refresher here.
Sure.
Explained in the most basic terms, all right?
All right.
So here we go. Let's see, how long is this? This is the most basic terms. All right, whatever. We're gonna go. We're not gonna read the whole thing. We're just gonna get a little bit. Firstly, it's important to point out that we do not. Okay, they don't buy into it. Whatever.
Okay.
A lot of places that present reptilian theory, popularized by David Icke, do wish to distance themselves from it for credibility purposes. Okay, like you just did. David Icke is a conspiracy theorist who states that we are all being influenced and controlled by shape-shifting reptilian aliens who take on the human form. It is believed that these aliens are controlling the Earth and manipulating politics and societies all over the globe. There are several million people who believe in reptilian theory within the UK, and there are over 12 million people in the USA who carry this belief. Not to mention the rest of the world. Holy shit.
That's pretty insane.
12
How could
million
you believe
people
it, dude?
believe that we are the Earth is run by shape-shifting reptilian aliens.
Yep.
Oh, you know what, TJ?
Jesus.
When they fucking show up, when they finally come to they just come to account, TJ. They admit they're from Alpha Centauri. The reptilians show up and they're like, we are your new masters, TJ. Bow before us. You're not going to be laughing then. Those 12 million people are going to be prepared, TJ. You're going to be taken unaware.
The cool thing about David Icke, too, is that he used to be a reporter, or I guess he was a sports reporter or something for the BBC. Cool. And he went on the air and basically said that he was God.
So he had a psychotic break or something.
Yeah, he had a fucking mental breakdown on the air and was like, I'm God. I, David Icke, am God. You know, and then he wrote a book. And it was all about how reptilians control the world. Didn't mention he backed away from the I am God thing. He's like, you know what? That's not the route I need to take this.
Right.
Of course, so you write a book based on what evidence? Where's the evidence, of course? And there's
dude.
you want evidence,
You
huh?
haven't seen yet, Scott.
You want fucking evidence? I'll show you
want
some
the
fucking
evidence.
evidence, bitch.
Here's 5 fucking reptilians caught on tape.
Five
Five.
reptilians caught on
Okay.
tape. Time to believe.
I'm sure it's going to be perfect.
Time to believe.
Crystal
Scotty.
clear HD.
And are trying to take over the earth by disguising themselves as politicians.
Look at that picture, Scotty. Explain that picture, Scotty.
Explain it.
Photoshop.
Oh,
What?
I mean, that's a decent.
You
explanation.
okay? Look, you can
Leaders.
Photoshop, but you can't do eyes in Photoshop. That's
Oh, that's true. You can't. It's impossible.
Hey
Photoshop
guys,
won't
and
let you
welcome
do it.
back to Apex TV. Today,
Okay.
we're going to explore this conspiracy theory by looking at top 5 reptilians caught on camera.
Yes.
And if you haven't done so, click that subscribe button.
We're not gonna do
Beat
that.
News interview with a woman who
Whoa.
looks like she'll transform into a reptile at any second.
What?
Very
you
little
deny
is known
that,
about
Scotty?
this video other than it
Wait,
is
wait,
from
wait.
an Italian
The
news
quote is-
station. The
She looks like she could transform into a reptile at any moment.
Do you deny that?
Dude, she looks like she's midway through the fucking transformation scene of James Earl Jones
If we
and
have
Conan the Barbarian.
If
Yeah.
we have intergalactic shapeshifters, why would they not have? Why would they have a problem imitating the human form? They wouldn't look
Well,
anything like a reptile.
From what I've heard David Icke talk about, it takes considerable will and energy to maintain the human form. And in times of great duress or stress, the shroud starts to drop, so to
it
speak.
starts to drop. So
And that's why we see it a lot in interviews and debates and stuff, because those are people that are under a lot of pressure and a lot of light.
So if you needed that, okay, one, reptiles would thrive under the light. Two,
No. I mean, like, the light helps other people. Like, you know, when you're in a news interview, you've got
See
the
beyond
fucking...
the
Yeah.
veil.
So obviously, we're gonna have to assume that these reptilians are mortal.
Look,
And
Scotty, hold on.
Why haven't we found one that's died and
If-
the shroud has disappeared?
Are you saying to me, Scotty, that you don't think that some bitch you've never heard of looking kind of like a lizard is proof enough for you of a vast conspiracy of
Well,
reptilians
even the
ruling the planet?
Even the person whose video this is did not say that she's a reptilian.
Well, Scotty's playing the skeptic tonight, but let me ask you, Scotty. If a fly were to fly by this bitch right now, do you deny that a fucking big old gangly tongue would shoot out of her mouth and snatch that fly?
Yeah,
Look at her.
I do.
Look at her, though. What would she do with the fly then?
She would swat it away.
It looks like she's about to eat whoever she's looking at.
Let's take a look.
most likely candidate being Telecolor SPA in Cremona, Italy. The girl herself is connected to the Zamboni pharmacy in the village of Po in Italy and is believed to be the owner of the pharmacy, though some are unsure of this. Whatever the case may
Holy
be,
lizard.
the interview is freaky and shows a potential transformation in the making.
Okay.
Whoa.
Shows
I
a-
don't disagree so
Number
far.
4.
shows a
Shifting
potential
news reporter.
transformation in the making.
Alright guys, not all these videos are from news stations, but check this one out. This comes from MyFox Los Angeles after a reporter reads a bit from the National Enquirer and begins to talk about how long people have to live. What makes this creepier is when the news reporter begins to seemingly transform on camera.
Dude, do you
Her
see
skin
her?
begins to distort and change. This is made creepier knowing she said that Michael Jackson had no more than 5 years to live. This was in 2009, only a few weeks before Michael Jackson's death, and this woman seemingly predicted it. Number 3,
Okay, I can't
2012
deny that one
Wow,
either. I watched her face morph into something unhuman.
And honestly, like, you know, it was, you couldn't blame like shitty video quality either,
No.
because like it was fucking crystal clear quality.
Oh, yeah.
No
dude.
artifacting or anything except
No.
for on her face area.
Nope, that's a transformation, guys.
I think we were starting to see beyond the veil of
Beyond the shroud, TJ.
London Olympics. Conspiracy theorists alike believe the 2012 London Olympics to be a place where the reptilian race would rise up and give birth to a new race, provoke a planetary-wide invasion, and bring on the end of the government
there
and
it
the free
is.
trade.
See him?
Because of this theory, many have claimed to capture footage of reptilians at the London Games. What do you guys think?
That's not a guy.
Was something supposed to
wearing a
happen at the
fucking silly,
Olympics?
crazy costume.
Or is this
Yeah.
a failed prank that the
That wasn't-
public didn't catch on to?
What do you mean
It's not
failed
even a
prank?
prank. It's
Number
just a
2,
dude.
caught
Okay,
in a
whatever.
cave.
They put on a show for the opening ceremony. He was probably part of that show.
No, Scotty, that was
No, he's a reptilian just standing out in plain
What part of
sight.
the opening ceremonies had a lizard man in it? And why? Was there a lizard man? Think about it, Scotty. They were just
he wasn't a lizard
flaunting their fucking existence in front of the world openly.
Why would they just do it openly?
Because they have contempt for us. They think
Paul,
we're all stupid fucking chattel animals.
If there are intergalactic overlords, they wouldn't give a shit about just showing up and being like, bow before me, human.
That's true.
They would not give a flying fuck, Paul. They would just come into your house, this house right now, and be like, Paul,
What's easier?
come here, chattel.
What's easier, capturing us and forcing us into some kind of intergalactic slavery, or making us complicit in our own slavery?
I think it would just be easier to enslave
Devious
us
lizards.
openly.
It kind of depends on their level of technology.
If reptilians exist, then some believe they would be crawling up from the bowels of hell itself. This was
The
the case
bowels
when a
of hell
photographer
itself.
snapped a picture in the Sundong Cave outlet. The picture itself looks like a fake, but it is nonetheless creepy and could be proof that these creatures exist.
Yeah, it's
The
not-
picture itself looks like a fake, but it is creepy.
It looks like someone
And
didn't
could
add
be
this in.
proof.
Wow, this one is really devolving.
As the video mentions, a person went missing near there, never to be seen again.
Wow.
Wow, there's only one explanation.
Yeah, I'm sure he
Number
didn't
one.
fall in that big
No,
hole.
A person went missing near some caverns. No one knows what happened to them. They fell in and died.
Or got lost.
Yeah. Or got
Ferguson
lost.
Reptilian. This video was a part of a news outlet covering the Ferguson riots. It shows what appears to be a reptilian in the background, watching things. Nothing is known about this incident as no one reported anything,
Which one's
making
supposed to
many
be the
believe
reptilian?
this
Oh, the
video
dude
to
behind
be
the cop?
fake. What we do know is either this video shows a reptilian in America or someone is very good at faking movies. That's our
I didn't
even see what they were trying
What?
to say was a reptilian.
Yeah,
I see a
alright.
dude peeking
But
in the...
what a total false dichotomy.
Or is there
dude.
something in the
It's this or
background of
this.
that?
reported
No.
anything,
Where's
making
the
many
reptilian?
believe this video to be fake. What we do know is either
Is it the
What do you
red
think?
eyes above him?
Is that it?
No.
Oh, is that supposed to be
Is
like?
that what they're saying is the reptilian?
to be fake.
Is that those red things above his head?
Because the dude standing behind him just looks like a dude standing
Yeah.
behind him.
I don't know.
I mean, I would believe him as Saddam Hussein before a reptilian. You know, it kind of looks like a Saddami.
I don't
guy.
get it.
This. Oh wow!
Did we get clickbaited so hard?
Yeah, they couldn't even find 5 instances, so they're just like, this guy.
It's fucking pitiful,
you know,
dude.
Who knows what? Like, okay.
Well-
that sucked.
I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer yet. I haven't seen enough.
All right, we do have a video from David Icke, who we've been talking about. I don't know how much he gets into reptilians here, but this one's about Angelina Jolie,
Okay.
who is apparently in this clip admitting to attending an Illuminati sacrifice.
Whoa, dude. The smoking gun.
Wow.
Now
okay.
we're gonna get more into the Illuminati later, but for now, let's just hear what's going on here. You know? Okay, garbage music. That's great.
A lot of people misunderstand me
website.
with
She
S&M
has,
and they think it's super, and I have to like explain to people how, like, where it's more like you're tied down because you need to like be able to like have somebody hold you down and keep you still, or like you would fight something out, or like.
So she's talking about S&M here.
Angelina is heard describing the gruesome ritual celebrities perform to join the Illuminati and claims it's not the same as S&M, consensual sexual torture.
No, she was just talking about S&M.
No, it's not the same.
No, Paul.
No.
Ritual to join the Illuminati.
Creepy.
Torture, Paul.
The Illuminati are watching.
During the Illuminati ritual, you are indeed tied up, sodomized, and tortured by other members.
All right, so that was a picture from the Church of Satan, and sodomization and torture are not part of
It is,
that
TJ.
ritual they were showing. We also hear how she's been encouraging other celebrities to perform the ritual as well and join the Illuminati, which is what members are told to do.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm sure we'll hear her say that right now.
Yes.
Yep, of course.
Right?
We're not going to draw.
The pain is
Hasty
often so
conclusion.
intense, many participants quit mid. Oh, damn, dude. That's a brutal butt fucking.
Be able to heal once you're beaten, like, or something. It's like it comes from that real place of like
Hell.
Hell.
just to be
Hell?
accessories or
Okay.
something, like.
So why is this, if she's talking about this stuff in her own words, then why is this video 90% him interpreting some really fucking innocuous, vague shit that, like, for 2 seconds that she's allowed to say, and then we get 4 slides interpreting what that 2
This is her
sentences she
talking
said
about
was.
the bond between yourself and Satan. Also, if you're creating a bond between you and Satan, are you really allowed to tap out halfway through? Like, say this is hurting really bad. I'm gonna quit. And Satan's like, okay. No, the Illuminati doesn't just let you go midway through the ceremony. You don't just get to bail. Hey guys, I've reconsidered. I don't want to join the Satanic Illuminati.
Angelina, look, I heard her explain the satanic objects used in the ceremony, okay?
She did?
They truly summon dark spirits and create a real bond between yourself and Satan.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
of course.
That's what she said, in her own words. Oh, she has tattoos.
Must be a Satanist. Definitely
She
a
has
Satanist.
a butt crack as well.
Oh, sure sign of a Satanist.
It's like with tattoos. It's like I've always never been. There's like that time where he's like, "Oh, I have tattoos," and after a while, you're like.
She didn't say after the
explain it,
ritual.
it means it's just comes from that real life.
Wow. This is
This is just total
This is
garbage.
actually David Icke, too. This is one of David Icke's videos
wow.
on his channel
This video is
that has
pitiful.
millions of views.
Pitiful,
This guy
dude.
can. This is a video by a guy who convinced 12 million people that lizards rule the world.
Millions of fucking views.
I mean, total clickbait. She's not saying any of these things.
She's not even close to saying.
He's
any of
just
the things
he's
saying.
literally just taking an interview from that she did, and just extrapolating so far based on like just the tiniest little things.
The audio becomes unclear from here on. Does it?
Just jumping to these totally fallacious, false conclusions.
It's been crystal clear up to this point, though.
All right, so Snopes is a big conspiracy debunking sort
urban
of
legend
website.
debunker. Yeah.
This is something from their site. This is 2017's biggest conspiracy theory. So this is like the big ones that people bought into just last year.
Probably still heavily into.
Hurricanes. When a series of historically massive hurricanes hit the United States during August and September, conspiracy theories and hoaxes followed close behind. One popular and ancient theory accuses the United States of engaging in weather warfare by using the Alaska-based High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, HAARP, to create them. HAARP is another frequent conspiracy theory bugaboo, supposedly involved in everything from making hurricanes to mind control. Skeptics point out that HAARP is a low-frequency transmitter that has no power to make hurricanes or enslave minds. Beyond that, HAARP is no longer a government facility, having been donated to the University of Alaska Fairbanks in 2015. Whatever. So obviously the University of Alaska is making hurricanes then.
Why do you think Sarah Palin almost got to be president? They just didn't harp enough people.
Well, she's gonna be vice president, but
Oh, well, the
issue is
the stress would have killed McCain.
okay. If the U.S. could do this, why wouldn't we create hurricanes by China or someplace like that? They're like, oh, China, you want to fuck with us? Here's a typhoon. Here's a hurricane. Now that you fucked with us, why would we hit ourselves with this weapon?
All right, so the other big one.
It doesn't make any sense.
Another big one this year, last year rather, the Las Vegas shooting.
Oh yeah.
This is kind of just your usual.
False flag didn't happen.
It was a false flag.
Gun
the government's
control.
trying to take the guns away. No one actually died, or if they did, they were murdered by the government.
Crisis
What are some of the
actors.
principal things that they call into question about that? Like, is it like I've heard people say that there were multiple shooters?
Let's see.
The gunfire came from different directions.
Yeah.
There's multiple. That always happens. They always say that too. Multiple shooters.
They've
always.
said that one of the things they say is that some of the survivors have been systematically murdered after the shooting because they knew too much and shit, and a bunch of shit. It's all been fucking pretty much proven false. There's not much there. It's just. It happens with every single fucking shooting. They and obviously this one was a pretty big one, so...
I even heard people saying, like, at the Parkland shooting recently that there were multiple people involved in that one.
The conspiracies about these shootings really, it started as soon as they got big with Columbine. There was... I remember reading a book by Disinfo, that
Oh yeah, I read
that had an
one.
article about multiple shooters at Columbine. Beyond just the two that we know of, because there already were multiple shooters.
Well, yeah, in that book they posited several people being involved.
Yeah, they said it was more like 6 people.
And
And they said there was adults involved and all this other stuff.
Yeah, and then there was like they had like the bomb making. They had greater bomb making potential, but they kind of I think it was like they just rushed too quickly, so they were actually going to end up destroying the whole school.
Well, if you look at the actual plan, I don't mean to digress, but if you look at the actual plan of the Columbine shooters, it wasn't intended as a school shooting. It was intended as a bombing. They were going to blow up the school and then stand by the exits and take out survivors as they fled the burning building. But none of the bombs actually went off, so they had to improvise a last-minute sort of shooting instead.
You know what's crazy is that at this point, Columbine wouldn't even be a big deal.
Oh, no, it would just be like, oh, another day, another school shooting.
Yeah, I mean, there have been such worse mass shootings since then that it's like...
I mean, it's still one of the bigger ones, but yeah, it wouldn't raise the eyebrows.
It was like 13 people were killed or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, now that, even in Parkland, what was it, 17 people were killed?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the Las Vegas shooting, hundreds of people were injured, and like 50 people were killed. In Orlando, 50 people were killed.
Apparently, there's been a lot of conspiracies revolving around Antifa. Conspiracy theories have linked the anti-fascist activists known as Antifa to a number of violent acts that either didn't take place at all or had nothing to do with the activists. One rumor that went far and wide was sparked by a viral video made by an amateur bounty hunter wearing an iron-on patch on his sweatshirt that vaguely resembled a law enforcement badge. He predicted, completely wrongly, that Antifa super soldiers... I've seen the Antifa kids. They're not super soldiers. Would go house to house on the 4th of November, 2017, stealing guns and killing white people in the name of resisting Trump. Didn't actually seem to manage to happen there, did it? I guess conspiracy theorists also linked Antifa to both the Las Vegas shooting and the mass shooting in Texas a month later, despite no evidence. Anyway... I think we've seen the hysteria that comes up whenever that Antifa shit is mentioned.
Oh, dude, Bitcoin.
I remember reading one that like Antifa was putting razor blades in dog treats and dropping them around dog parks in affluent white areas.
Those dog-killing bastards.
But never saw a story about a dog actually being hurt by it.
No, of course not. So here's something that was said about about Bitcoins. Someone said governments are currently in the process of vetting the cryptocurrency space and using Bitcoin as its primary test case before crushing private cryptocurrencies altogether, then replacing them with one government-sanctioned Bitcoin.
So, like, all the Bitcoin dorks are all worried that there's a Bitcoin conspiracy going on?
That the government is basically going to destroy all these coins and then start their own. It's like, here's your new alternative currency.
Here's G-Coin for the government.
Here's GovCoin, bitch.
We own this.
Obama's shadow government, the whole deep state thing, know. Is Barack Obama controlling a deep state of... Here's the thing I don't understand about this whole, like, Obama's trying to take over. Like, wouldn't you have... If you were Obama and your plan was, I am going to fucking take over the United States, wouldn't you do that as president?
Yeah, wouldn't you take your 8 years and 2 terms in office to do that?
Yeah, then have Congress abolish term limits and then you become president for life or something.
Yeah, you would pull a Putin, right? You wouldn't fucking leave office and transition to the next guy and then try to sabotage him from behind the scenes, you know? I don't know. Maybe Obama's got a more complex plan than I thought. This next one's about Roy Moore. They said you see this sign right here. They falsely accused Jesus, vote Roy Moore.
Oh, shit, dude.
The shocking allegations that Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore either had or attempted sexual relations with numerous teenage girls were obvious fodder for conspiracy theories. They arose nearly instantaneously, holding that either the Washington Post was lying or Moore's accusers were, and that the yearbook signature Moore bestowed on one of the accusers was forged. Soon, a fake tweet surfaced accusing Post journalists of offering $1,000 for accusations. Meanwhile, someone pretending to be a Post reporter with an anti-Semitic fake name and a strange attempt at a New York accent cold-called people in Alabama to offer money for damaging information about the candidate. Moore himself fueled the theorizing, speculating that the financier The favorite bugbear of conspiracy theorists everywhere, George Soros. Oh, good old
No,
George.
yeah. He's got his
fuck.
fingers in everything, man.
George Soros is responsible for pretty much everything that ever happens that's bad in the world.
So Roy Moore did all this bad shit, and then just turned around and was like, you know what? It's a giant conspiracy against
George
me.
Soros used HARP to fucking brainwash me into finger banging that 17-year-old.
And this is one I never heard of, because the other ones were things I'd heard of.
Oh, dude, look at this.
I never heard of this fake Melania theory.
She's fake, dude.
President Trump was a magnet for conspiracy theories, both in opposition and in support of his administration, but none summed up the ephemeral nature of internet conspiracies like the one claiming Melania Trump had a body double, that a Melania Trump body double had posed next to the president. The First Lady's lack of public appearances and seeming aloofness make her an easy target for gossip and rumors. Sure enough, in October, a Facebook user posted that something seemed off about Melania's appearance as she stood next to the president during a quick appearance in front of reporters. Others then claimed that her nose, hair, and mouth looked different. Soon, social media was alight with rumors that Melania had been replaced by a decoy, either to help her avoid the spotlight or because she'd split up with the president. Who cares?
Yeah, like this... I don't know, dude. Whatever.
Yeah.
That she does look different, but one of those looks like a fashion photo, and one of them looks like a candid fucking on the street kind of photo.
No, Paul. She has been replaced.
Replaced by a body double. So that was the shit that people were all fucking up in arms about in 2017.
The government cooking up hurricanes and fake Melanias.
Wow.
that was the big conspiracy.
The conspiracy era, like, we need a shot in the arm, man.
Yeah, that's
time for some better conspiracies.
That's some pretty pathetic fucking conspiracy theories, if I do say so myself. I'm not really impressed. Fake Melania. I mean, come on.
Roy Moore? Oh, my God.
I want fucking one world government shit, dude. The Vigilant Christian could have fucking cooked up a better story than that shit.
Yeah, what happened to, like, Jay-Z being a clone that was kidnapped and reprogrammed and shit?
Yeah, by Beyonce.
Yeah.
Who's a reptilian demon, dude.
Come on, conspiracy people. Get with the fucking program.
And how about the fucking Jews are in league with the reptilians? I mean, come on. Can we have some fucking, a little bit more creativity?
All right, well, here's another little list of different conspiracies we can take a quick little glance at here. Secret group controlling the world. You know, that's one of the most popular.
The Jews.
It's also one of the most true. I like, honestly, I just think people ascribe too much, like, ritual to it. I don't really think it's in question that there's a group of moneyed elites that have way more power than they should over global events and shit.
Oh, yeah. They're the one hired. I mean, obviously, if you're the head of Google, you know, if you're the head of a major corporation, you have way more influence than you or I. I mean, because you can go... Look, the head... Let's say, for example, if you were the CEO of Google, you could go tomorrow and say, you know what? I want all this content off of YouTube, or I want all this content allowed on YouTube, or I want this here, or I want these search results changed or omitted or whatever.
Right.
Who's going to stop them?
Nobody.
Nobody.
It's encouraged. It's legal to lobby people like that. It's fucking ridiculous. So, like, I don't know, man. This first one I think is true. I just think people go too far with it. It sounds like that maybe is true for a lot of these conspiracy theories. Damn, dude.
Fucking dunce hat, TJ.
Really? That's what's going on here, TJ.
Sorry, it's a conspiracy against you guys.
It is, dude.
It is.
Yeah, the secret. We're actually going to get into the Illuminati stuff a little later, but then they talk here about this the President Obama not being born in the U.S. and he's a secret Muslim. I feel like, wow, that was I mean, the entire. You know what? This is another thing.
That was a big Trump issue. Remember before?
It was a big Trump issue, but a lot of people forget that Hillary Clinton's campaign is what raised.
Oh, she did, yeah.
Yeah, during the primaries, she's the fucking bitch who got that fucking piece of shit rolling down the hill. You know. So
where was he born?
You can blame fucking Hillary for that shit. Now she did it through proxies. To her credit, she didn't come right out and say it herself, but I don't know how much credit that gives her.
Not much.
We've already talked about the 9/11 ones. We've already talked about the reptilians.
Loose change.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the JFK thing here because we got that right here. JFK. 51% of Americans believed that there was a conspiracy behind the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in a large national survey in 2013. The popularity of this particular theory stems from the horrific murder in 1963 of President Kennedy and the subsequent lack of a clear, satisfying explanation for who was really behind it. While the shooter, Lee Harvey Oswald, got the official blame, parties as divergent as the CIA, KGB, or the mob have been implicated in the public consciousness. The particulars of the theory focus on analyzing whether there was just one gunman or if more shots were fired than officially claimed. I guess that's all they're going to give you on it. I know there's a lot more to it than that.
Way more than it.
Yeah, it's a really dense conspiracy theory, and there's a lot of head-scratching stuff that isn't really explained by the Warren Commission.
I know one
report.
of the things that a lot of people use that I actually do know the debunking thing for is that the trajectory of his head's wrong.
Back and to the left.
Back and to the left. I actually there actually is a thing, like if you shoot a fucking they were shooting watermelons with the same rifle that he used. The bullet it's like the air differential actually causes your head to go towards the fucking thing that shot you. They were shooting the watermelons, and each one of them tipped towards where it was shot from.
There's always
not
parts
back.
of,
you know, so it's just like it's just a misconception of physics, because there's a little. I don't want to say it was an air vortex thing, but basically it's the pressure differential.
It's like 9/11. I mean, there's parts of like the loose change 9/11 conspiracy shit that you can debunk, like the steel melting.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's controlled demolition shit.
There's certain elements to that. It's the same thing with the JFK thing. There's things that people believe they're demonstrably false and incorrect.
What about the magic bullet theory, dude?
Oh, yeah.
What about the bullet that, according to the official reports, entered through his shoulder or something, exited, went into the seat in front of him, and then came back and lodged itself in the knee of one of his bodyguards or some shit?
I mean, you know, I think bullets can do some weird fucking
shit. They can ricochet.
Yeah,
they
can
Here's
ricochet.
The thing. There was a fucking...
They can fragment, too.
There's an episode of Forensic Files where this fucking kid, he goes to the gun range with his dad. He's at an indoor part of the gun range. He's in a building, and all of a sudden he's shot. And you don't know, they didn't know where the fuck the bullet came from.
He's shot in the head and killed or something, right?
What had happened was there was a fucking contest going on outside the building where a dude's bullet, there was like some safety measures. They have things that are supposed to catch the bullets, but the wall they had that's supposed to catch stray bullets wasn't high enough. So the bullet just had this perfect trajectory where it went over the fucking wall. It went inside the fucking building. It hit the ceiling, and it should have, by all accounts, just lodged right in there.
Come to a stop there.
But it didn't. It fucking ricocheted down, maintained its fucking momentum, and hit that kid in the fucking head.
I mean,
it's just. I mean, bullets can do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's a shot that you could probably never replicate. You could.
Yeah,
you could sit outside all day and do that.
They said it was a real head scratcher, because I mean they could see where the bullet had hit the fucking wall, but they were just like, this bullet probably 999,000 times out of whatever 10,000 would have fucking lodged right there in that ceiling and stopped. But it hit it just the right way where it did this ricochet. So who knows?
Yeah.
But if I found out, I mean, I've not looked into the Kennedy thing. It's not really super interesting to me. But if I were to find out, hey, it turns out it was the mob or it was the CIA or whatever, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm shocked.
Right.
I just don't know. Aliens are contacting us. That's another one.
Yeah, that's one we haven't really talked about much tonight. But they're
Area 51,
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh God, dude! I heard this great thing about Area 51 one time, where they're like, what everyone needs to do? Everyone needs to gather by Area 51 in New Mexico.
Damn it!
Right outside the border, and if millions of people come, we all agree at this time and date, and we'll just walk in, and the truth will be revealed to us.
Yeah.
It's like
they won't shoot us all. Yes, they will.
Well,
You're a fucking big army of people trying to invade a government base. They will, in fact, shoot you.
Yeah, if everyone did that, I mean, I guess of course there's a point that they could probably figure out the secrets of Area, or not the secrets, but they could see what's there. But I think they're going to be disappointed. They're not going to find a bunch of alien bodies preserved.
Now, this is one where I wish our Uncle Guy was here because he's big into this alien shit.
Oh, the Greys?
Yeah, like the Greys and all the different little species of aliens that people believe in. You know, you know, he just like, he'll mock, like the way we're mocking some of these conspiracy theories or whatever.
Yeah.
He'll mock the official story. You know, he'll be there like, fucking weather balloon my ass.
Yeah, that is
There was
kind
a
of
weather
lame...
balloon with some crash test dummies just hanging off it. Bullshit. Fuck that nonsense.
That is kind of a lame
People found
explanation.
weird metals that had properties we've never seen
Look.
here on Earth, and we're just supposed to fucking ignore that.
Weather balloons.
I mean, it was reported initially as a flying saucer crash. You know, now I understand people were fucking, you know, more naive in those times.
For sure.
Maybe they came across something and they're like, I don't understand what this is, so it must be a fucking flying saucer. But, you know.
I'm with your Uncle Guy, dude. They're here.
They're here.
They're here. They're amongst us.
The moon landing was faked.
That's a biggie.
That's a biggin.
I had
I
actually
think
a friend
I might
that would,
actually have a more in-depth article about that
About the
one.
moon
Yeah.
landing?
So we don't have to go into that because we actually have a more in-depth look in that coming at you soon.
Cool.
FDA is withholding the cure for cancer. That's kind of interesting. This idea maintains that the FDA and Big Pharma actually... Okay, I see. They combined two words on accident. Big Pharma actually figured out how to cure cancer a while back, but are not making the medicine available. While Big Pharma has not made itself many friends among the public, there is no evidence that such a vast conspiracy is possible, as it would require the participation of thousands, if not millions, of people in both for-profit and non-profit sectors. It makes more sense that selling the cure would actually make more money. It's also hard to believe that these evil medical professionals would not use the cures on themselves and their families, a fact that would come to light eventually.
They already do, TJ. They already do.
When's the last time you heard about a big pharma executive's family coming down with some cancer, TJ?
Oh, yeah. Good point. Good point.
When's the last time that was a headline?
Dude, if they had a cure for cancer, they just cured every cancer known to man, they would just be selling that shit for an exorbitant price.
Yeah, I think the last time that happened was Nevervember the Nevereth.
Yeah, but they don't, so it's just bullshit.
Oh, chemtrails, eh?
Yeah, they're spraying fucking gas on us, dude, to experiment on us.
The big thing I never liked about the chemtrails conspiracy is I'm like, don't the rich elite people breathe the same air on the same planet? I mean,
yeah,
well,
but they've got these houses with these air purifiers and shit that your average Joe can't afford.
they're outside,
they still
too,
go
you know?
outside. Well, one, that's not the greatest dispersal method. It would be better to do if they did it on the ground. So if they had trucks going
Yeah, I
around.
mean, it would make more sense if they put it in the water supply than the fucking air.
I mean, you say they're
out.
outside, but when's the last time you saw Bill Gates outside, dude? When's the last time you saw any of these elite fucking super billionaires walking around?
How do you know
on
when
the
you join the
streets?
elite? So if you get like $1 billion, does the elite team show up and say, this is how the world really works?
You don't get to be part of the elite unless you've got $1 billion. Like, that's the entry level. That's your fucking ticket to the elite.
That's your golden ticket.
Yeah, but you don't get to get that without the elite manipulating things to make sure that you get it. So you're already in their pocket when you join. You know what I mean? That's how they keep this whole fucking bullshit going.
So at some point you get the indoctrination thing. You get like, look, you're gonna be one of the you're gonna join this prestigious group. It's very secretive. These are all the privileges you're going to get. You know, you're going to basically get out of jail free cards. One of the first things you get. Like, look, any crime you commit, it's just going to be covered up.
I think that they also hand you a folder of everything you've ever done wrong too, and they're like, look, dude, you fuck around. I think the same thing happens to a president. I think that's why if you look at presidents, right, they get elected, like Obama. Young, vibrant looking dude, and then, like, I swear to God, 2 months after his election, he looked like he was becoming a Sith. And that's because I think that the first thing they do when you become president is they sit you down and they show you the book of secrets, dude. And that includes a file on your ass. It's like, here's everybody that you've ever had contact with. Here's every fucking time you ever bought weed. Like, every fucking thing that you've ever done in your life, every search term that you've ever searched, it's all here, man. And if you don't want this to go wide, you're going to fucking buy into the Illuminati, dude. You're going to follow orders.
And that's when you get sodomized by Satan.
Yep, and then they show him the Zapruder film, the unedited Zapruder film, with the guy on the grassy knoll, the government agent on the grassy knoll, just doming fucking Kennedy. And they go, that, this is what happened, dude. Kennedy was the last guy that tried to buck the fucking trend, and, well, you saw what happened.
They said Steve Jobs wouldn't have died if this were true. What makes you think Steve Jobs is actually dead?
Yeah, who believes that? Who believes that he didn't just get sick of talking to the insipid fucking stupid people around him and just move to an island somewhere?
Steve Jobs is an international, it's a government location, a base, and he's working on immortality. Look, there's a stopgap, which he's taking right now. He's going to actually soon invent immortality as an Apple product.
I'll tell you what, the world really is more interesting through the conspiratorial lens.
Yeah, definitely.
So I can see why maybe that's another reason people gravitate towards it. I guess it goes back to that boredom thing we were talking about. Maybe that is, Now that we're getting into it, you're giving a little bit more. Now that we're allowing ourselves to just kind of concoct them as I go, I'm like, wow, that really is more interesting than Bill Gates just withering away from cancer and dying.
Well, not Bill Gates, but
Steve Jobs, yeah.
His little counterpart.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the same thing about, if we're talking about, like, you believe that Kurt Cobain was murdered. Like, okay, so the official explanation is
he committed suicide.
Yeah, he went up to his room above his garage.
Yep.
He had the shotgun he purchased, and he did a bunch of heroin. He blew his brains out.
Or
there's a massive conspiracy around him that he was murdered, and here's all these
not a massive conspiracy, just 2 or 3 people involved. That's not massive.
Yeah, just Courtney Love being like, "Go kill my husband."
I don't think that there had to be like millions. Like, I think that honestly, the Seattle PD is involved, but they're not complicit. They just don't want the egg on their face of the horrible fucking investigation into his death. Because, like, there are so many fucking inconsistencies in the official investigation that just make no sense. So they don't want that stain.
What's the documentary that changed your mind? What is it called?
It's called Soaked in Bleach.
Soaked in Bleach. Yeah, because I remember Paul, like, I think you had just moved to Seattle and you had watched it recently or something. You told me, and you were like arguing with us about it.
Yeah, I was living in Texas when I saw it for the first time, right before I moved to Seattle. Dude, I'm telling you, like, whatever. Like, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But the questions that it raises and the fact that there's just no answers to those questions from any official source, pretty fucking compelling shit.
I'll tell you what else is compelling.
What?
Holocaust never happened.
Oh,
never fucking happened.
Shit.
What is the evidence that 6 million Jews were killed in the Nazi gas chambers? Were the Nazis really that bad? Yeah, they were.
Were they so bad?
Was National Socialism a bad thing for German workers? Who really started World War II? I'm just going to read some of the highlighted parts.
Let me
here.
guess.
Sure.
It's all the Jews' fault.
Yad Vashem, a Holocaust documentation center in Israel, has a database of 3 million alleged victims of Nazi extermination. But as you can see here, nearly every name is listed at least twice, some of them as many as 5 times. Dun, dun,
It's almost like that with a sample size that big and an insular community like Jews, you're going to come up with multiple people named, Chaim Goldberg or
wait a
whatever
minute,
the fuck.
guy. Yeah, I mean, it'd be like if we fucking did, like, opened the phone book. It's like, wait a minute, there's like 8 Dave Smiths.
Yeah.
What's going on, you know?
I mean, or we could look at all the video and photographic and the fact that the concentration camps are still standing in a lot of places.
What? Those weren't concentration camps. They were lice centers
lice
for the
centers.
treatment of lice, which was rampant in the prison. They were actually trying to do a kindness.
The fact that we actually have living survivors of this event as well, that's also more...
All brainwashed, all Illuminati shills.
Of course.
The real culprit behind World War II, by the way?
Who was it?
Hitler's monetary system.
Oh, he was trying to change the paradigm.
The god of the Jews is money, and in order to not steal money, he commits the greatest crimes. He does not rest until he can sit on a big sack of money. He does not rest until he becomes the king of money. Well, I think Scotty is a Jew. That makes sense. Holocaust didn't happen. Bunch of fucking shit here. World-renowned historian David Irving raised several forensic and logistical issues impeaching the credibility of the Holocaust. All right.
Let's read a couple of these.
Lie number 1. Mythologists, citing a Nazi document, alleged that 97,000 people were processed, i.e. gassed, in 3 trucks during the course of 5 weeks. Irving understates that is a very substantial accomplishment if you work it out with a pocket calculator. 38.4 people per hour per truck, 24/7. The Nova producers edited out 20 people were processed, and they drove 20 kilometers into the countryside. Okay, so he's saying that they couldn't possibly have gassed that many people in that many trucks in that time frame.
Okay.
So that's the first proof. Mythologists, I love that term.
Yeah.
Allege that 120,000 people per a month could be cremated at Auschwitz. Again, Irving invites you to do the math. Assume that each cadaver weighs 125 pounds. Crematoria can dispose of 150 pounds
Per hour.
per hour.
Yep.
Okay. Therefore, you would need 139 ovens working 24/7 to cremate 120,000 people. There were only 46 ovens at Auschwitz, and the crematoria could not and did not operate 24/7. Irving points out it takes 30 kilograms of coke to incinerate one body. It would take many trainloads of coke to I didn't know coke was used to incinerate bodies, to incinerate 120,000 corpses. Aerial reconnaissance photos of Auschwitz did not show huge piles of coke. I want some coke now.
Yeah, dude.
The same photos, contrary to... Okay, so once again, just like...
So one source...
Math don't add up, according to this guy.
So one source of information says that this is not possible, but we have so much evidence to the contrary.
I don't know about you guys, but
yeah,
I know we're supposed to be like making fun of this, but as this goes on, I feel like I'm getting more and more woke on the Jewish question.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, Paul.
Mythologists allege stupid, suicidal Nazis crudely dumped dangerous cyanide louse disinfectant, Zyklon B, through holes in the roof of gas chambers. If the Nazis were going to use Zyklon, they would have opened the cyanide canisters in a heated, easy-to-clean cabinet attached to a blower designed for a Zyklon clothing disinfection chamber. Okay, so because their engineering wasn't the best, according to this guy, they didn't do the best method of killing a bunch of Jews.
Yeah,
that must mean it's false.
They went about it in a haphazard manner. Therefore, it's false.
Ignore all of the fucking testimonies. Ignore all of the fucking historical evidence. Ignore the fact that we can actually look at the fucking chambers and shit.
No.
Ignore the fact that fucking millions of people just vanished from the fucking face of the earth.
All these Jews and other people and homosexuals and gypsies.
It didn't happen because the math on these trucks is off.
All gone, all bullshit.
Whoopsie daisy.
These people are just pathetic. They have
internal documents where of like, okay, now it's time to kill these people. Like, what? This is basically just like, we hate Jews, fuck Jews, we're tired of Jews getting sympathy for the Holocaust.
Never
happened. Never happened.
All lies.
Dude, how did they do 120,000 bodies, though?
How did they do it?
How did they do it?
We don't even know if that guy's...
How do we know how accurate his figures are?
we don't even know if those figures are accurate.
Probably not.
When you were reading that, they seemed like accurate figures to me.
Didn't they?
The way you read them and the way they were written into that.
I should have read them with the idiot voice. Then they would have sounded less credible.
Yeah. On that shitty 1998 GeoCities fucking website. Myth
right.
number 3.
So, InfoWars. This is... Alex Jones really brought the conspiracy theory to the next level, you know? And this is his website. Let's see. This is this is my favorite story that's going on right now. Alex Jones's son challenges David Hogg to a gun debate, or maybe his name is pronounced Hogue. I don't know. I think it's Hogg. Also, hey, look, our buddy Tim is maybe getting his show back, thanks to Roseanne's success.
Oh, look, DJ. CNN admits Dems' lead is shrinking, dude.
I don't even care. This, it's weird because Alex Jones has a weird trajectory because he's kind of a lot more establishment now than he used to be.
He's had to be because he's gotten so big that he has to appeal to a broader base of people now. So he's gotten way corporate, and he's all into supplements now.
Dude, his store is so prominent on the site. It's in the fucking main header. It's on the side. You scroll down, it pops up again. Here's more
let's
products.
take a look at
That's
all
got to be
the
the
shit
easiest
selling
money
here.
he's making.
Oh yeah, I mean this is crazy.
This is just vitamin supplements that he's buying
look,
from a
you can
third
buy-
party and repackaging.
Look,
as
Cellforce.
Retail is $149, but you can get it for $74.
How many do you get?
You get a
30
30-day supply.
So that's a monthly thing that I'm supposed to buy from
Hey,
Alex
Paul,
Jones.
and you might worry like, shit, dude, I'm gonna forget. It's
auto ship available.
So they'll just
every 30 days.
erase
We'll keep on
$75
charging
from
you.
your monthly
Yes.
life, and we'll keep giving you.
But you
this
know what
garbage.
you get though? You get Cellforce. It's the most advanced formula yet, focused on overhauling your body's cellular engines and protecting from reactive oxygen species.
Dude,
with the best combination of
people
antioxidants
buying
on the
this
market.
are buying modern day snake oil, dude.
I mean, literally.
Snake oil force.
I mean, what's even in this
I
shit?
mean, look, you know, he knows that he's got gullible fucktards by the balls because, you know, obviously.
Oh, so you need that one, dude. Super male vitality.
Oh, hell yeah. I love super male vitality. That's what's going to cure my soy boyness, you know? I wonder if we could search by price and find the most expensive fucking.
I might be able to filter it. So,
View all.
View all.
This is the best sellers. Let's see all the best sellers. Maybe we can sort by price. All right, do it. Nah, it sorts it from the lowest. We got to get down. Load the next 24 products. Yeah, I want to see how. Okay, you can get
6 months supply, dude, of food.
Here's what you get. It's basically the Alex Jones version of the bonus bucket served in those fucking little plastic containers you could buy at fucking Target and shit. 900 servings of healthy, delicious, long-term storable food, drinks, and snacks.
6 months supply, dude.
For 180 days. 180 days you can survive on the Alex Jones bonus bucket.
Paul, for only $900, dude.
InfoWars Life Select.
$900, Paul. 6 month food supply for you and your family.
But look
dude.
at the savings, though. Look at the
That's
savings.
a steal.
Now, normally, Paul, look, normally $1,145.
Yeah, it's normally, but you save, if you buy it now and you get it on this website, you could save $249.
Wow.
That's a savings of 21.75.
It's like throwing away money not to
dude, let's
get
look at the
this.
reviews, TJ.
Yeah, the review, yeah, let's see.
77 of these.
reviews of these. Highly recommend. Took a month or longer to make to my doorstep, but I was fully satisfied when it finally made it due to the large demand of sales. I understand and had faith the product would arrive. Well, what if the world ended in that interim, though?
Yeah, you're fucked.
I think it's real generous. I always thought it was real generous of Alex Jones and of that nice fellow who sells the bonus buckets. Jim Baker. Yeah, I always thought it was nice of him to take this worthless money that's going to be devalued soon anyway when the fucking Illuminati do their fucking plans, to take that worthless money and give to people food.
Yeah,
which
food.
is an actual valuable resource.
They're going to need it, TJ. Look, Alex Jones isn't making a bunch of money off this site. He's actually helping people.
I wonder if there's like people out there who just buy this shit and just eat it. Like, yeah, we're just gonna eat this.
Yeah, I don't want to have to
I'm
worry
just
about
gonna
my
survive.
meals for the next 6 months.
I'm just gonna survive on this substandard shit for 6 months.
I think most of these people would probably save this because they're worried that the big event's going to happen.
Oh, it's right around the corner. It's right around that corner.
You got to be prepared.
Additional info. You can get a 1 year supply
for $1,800.
Dude, TJ,
you can get a 4 week supply, a 2 week supply,
we might have to
supply.
We might have to do an InfoWars review episode, and we'll buy a 2 week supply and see.
Oh man, that would be delicious.
We'll buy some of the pills too. See how fit we can get in a couple weeks.
Oh my god!
Follow the Alex Jones lifestyle. TJ,
I'd love it.
You take super male vitality. I'll take brain boost.
Yeah.
Paul, you take the weight loss one.
I'm taking them all. I'm just gonna fucking be
all
Mr. Pill,
right.
dude.
Mr. Homeopathy, huh?
I'm gonna take every fucking pill Alex Jones has. But yeah, it's great because he fucking rambles a bunch of conspiracy fucking fucktard bullshit, and then he sells you fucking snake oil.
Yep.
And it's a great scam. You gotta love him. And then
he's got the best scam, dude.
And now his kid is gonna fucking is challenge. I love the reason I love that fucking article about how like Alex Jones's son is challenging that David Hogg kid and shit. on gun control is because it means that he's trying to take over. You know, he's
passing the torch.
Yeah, he's being prepped to take over the family business. Like, okay, here's Alex Jones Jr.
Yep.
So that when Alex dies, his son can carry on the tradition of fucking scamming.
Son,
people.
I've been a snake oil salesman for over 30 years. It's time you learn the family honored tradition.
I mean, he's got to be the most successful snake oil salesman in history at this point.
I mean, other than Trump, yeah.
Well, yeah.
This is a much. I like this conspiracy theory site better, honestly. This is a place. This has been around forever. This is something that my uncle used to show me. Mostly because he liked their UFO coverage. But this, you know, another thing is you can see right here, they are into the same shit, all the probiotics and the pills. You gotta get the pills. You gotta get this stuff, and you gotta buy this dumb bitch's book and all this stuff.
Man, this style of, like, web design has gone completely out of fashion.
Oh, no,
dude.
this is gone, but it's still here. Here it remains. Listen to us by phone. You know?
I don't even know how we functioned when websites were made. Like, look at this.
Yeah, like, it's not intuitive.
Oh, go up, TJ, look.
What?
Only $3.50 a month.
We'll design your banner for you.
Dude, we should fucking put an ad for DFF on this website.
We should. For $3.50 a month, we can have a DFF ad right on the site.
Yeah, dude.
It should be just an. Oh, well, we can't do an ad for this episode because this won't be publicly available. But yeah, dude, healing autism. Look right there.
Wow.
They
No
they
vaccines.
They got a store. Fuck autism. The rise and fall of a scientific genius. I don't know what that's about, but they got all kinds of little stuff in here. There's this guy. You guys recognize this fellow?
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Daily UFO sightings. I want to go here for a second.
Ooh, let's see how many UFOs have been sighted lately.
This is Oh, okay.
Oh, cool,
wow,
dude.
neat.
Wow, they've gotten an update.
They've updated, dude. Oh, are there some by Louisiana, TJ?
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude, what happened?
UFO sighting.
In Ponchatoula,
Reported 44 years later, UFO appeared treetop height above our heads.
Oh, so this
Paul, this happened nearby where we live, dude.
but it's 44 years ago.
Okay, but TJ, go to current, TJ. Come on, dude.
All right, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can fucking zoom in on where we live and see what's going on here.
Shit,
Dude, there's some shit.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, there's some shit
fuck,
going
dude.
on where we live, dude.
This is probably the closest. Let's take a look. Oh,
That's
that's
the
the
one.
one.
Yeah,
that's the
44
one,
years.
man. It appeared. Here's an interesting thing. Wonder if mine is still on here because I actually submitted one of these once, just for fun.
Just to see if you could get it
Yeah,
listed.
to see if I could get it past their editorial process. I was living in Baton Rouge at the time. I don't remember how many years ago it was, but I wanted to see if they would write to me and ask me something, you know, try to verify details or any of that. Nope.
No.
I submitted it. They published it.
Sweet.
That's how that went. It's probably still fucking on here. I don't remember a case number or anything like that.
It looks like there's a lot of UFO activity along the interstate, though.
There is, dude.
Running north, you know, cutting across Louisiana
They
from
love
Texas.
it there. They love it there.
Like that whole area there, there's like just a belt of sightings. Look at that. That seems to follow the road almost.
Last month there were 312 UFO sightings. Wow.
All right. I'm gonna try to see if we can find my old one in here. I'm gonna give it a good old all cities. No, not all cities, just Baton Rouge, because I was living there with the red fucking stick. I guess that'd be higher up than this. There it is.
Yep, there you go.
And can I start date? I need to set an end date. I know this was at least fucking 10. You know, it was definitely before then. So let's see.
Well, shit, dude, you didn't live in Baton Rouge in 2008.
No, I'm just saying it was definitely before 2008.
When they did this update, they might have wiped it too.
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah,
what
it doesn't look
happened.
like it's there anymore. But you know what? I did have one, and I did it. I made sure to make it kind of an interesting
Dude,
story.
you know
too.
what? Let's just do
I was
it.
like,
TJ, just go do it again, dude.
Dude, we should have everybody watching go do it.
everyone go report a UFO sighting because you could do it.
What's the website?
It's UFOstalker.com.
Yeah, dude, go report UFO.
Yeah, dude, that would be fun, dude. We'll just have there's a rash of UFO sightings.
Report a UFO. Let's just go ahead and do it right now.
And then just like put something in it that would like, you know, like that ties it all together. Just be like, yeah, I was eating some deep fat fried foods and I noticed a saucer about head height hovering near my tree.
First name.
Oh, here we go, dude.
Province. All right, country unknown. I don't think it's
obviously you're not going to put your street address in here now.
Oh, I'm going to put everything. No, I'm not. Let's see. United States, right? Is this?
Yep.
County. I see.
Yeah, they say county because everywhere else has counties. But we have
We actually don't have counties, but that's fine.
A parish is the same fucking thing.
Yes. So, all right. Blah 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 blah.
Oh shit! A phone number.
Is that required?
Yeah, it looks like all these like green things, dude.
Oh, they used to not require this stuff.
Wow, they're trying to they're trying to make sure people like you don't.
I guess they've refined their process a little, so I guess I won't do that right now. But
we will go ahead and do it.
I will go ahead and do it, and I will go ahead and encourage other people to go to ufostalker.com and do it as well. Well, I guess this came up, so we might as well talk about the Illuminati, because that's one of the most famous ones.
Yep.
One of the most famous little conspiracy things out there. I like this because it just tells you about their plan, you know? And, Paul, you believe in the Illuminati, right?
No.
You believe in the Illuminati, that's correct.
Yes, I do.
So the conspiracy for world takeover is as old as man himself. No.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's not. The Illuminati in recent history has twice tried to control the world, in Napoleon's day and during World War I. Only about 5,000 people in the entire world know the true purpose of the Illuminati and its conspiracy to rule the earth. Their plan was written down in code as a fictional novel in 1957.
Oh,
sounds credible.
Yeah, this is just... I mean, I don't know how you can go to this site and read this and go, you know what, this is all just clicking.
Oh, they're claiming Atlas Shrugged was that novel.
Yeah.
What?
In the mid-1950s, Philippe Rothschild ordered one of his mistresses, Ayn Rand. No one would have Ayn Rand as a mistress, okay? Especially not someone rich. She looked like fucking Nosferatu in a wig. An established authoress and philosopher, to undertake the writing of his code to the witches of the world. What? This novel, Atlas Shrugged, was never intended to be a bestseller, although it turned out to be one. The main characters of Atlas Shrugged are code names for individuals or companies. The code is as follows.
Already just total fucking nonsense, dude.
John Galt is Philippe Rothschild.
If
Dagny Taggart is Ayn Rand.
No, if the Illuminati existed, why would they have to have a fucking secret novel? Why don't they just fucking have their little meet up and go, you know what, guys?
They do, the Bilderbergs, dude.
Yeah.
But why would they put a novel out?
All right, hold on, Scotty.
If they wanted to be a secret, why would they put out a public work?
Let's just get into the part where you're gonna change your tune once you hear this. All right.
Okay.
There are 6 areas of society in which the Illuminati intends to rule: religion, politics, economics, education, the military, and social.
Oh, it's like social media and shit.
I
dude.
guess I don't know. So on August 1st, 1972, Philippe Rothschild sent some papers to a meeting of the Council of 13 by state courier to San Antonio, Texas, where Paul once lived.
Whoa.
Dun, dun, dun.
No comment.
Besides the usual payoff notes and progress reports, the papers included a projected takeover plan. All right? So here's the plan. Phase 1, remove the president and vice president.
Easy enough.
Phase 2, Republican successor throws election to Democratic.
Okay.
Number 3, Democratic president gets following laws enacted. A, federal gun law taking away weapons from citizens.
Okay.
Okay, so here's...
B, removal of tax exemption from churches.
Well, I'm actually fine with that one.
C...
But A makes no sense because what would they do? They suddenly would just change our constitution?
Yeah. C,
Okay.
Genocide Act, making it a crime equal to murder to convert a person from one religion or faith to another. Yeah.
Okay.
D, Presidential Martial Law Act. This allows the president in times of national emergency to suspend the Constitution, Congress, and economic system. The president, in essence, becomes the dictator of America. E, the Anti-Hoarding Act.
Congress couldn't pass that law. That makes no sense.
This makes it a felony to have more than 30 days' supply of food, fuel, or medicine stored up at one time. And F, the Anti-Business Acts, Equalization of Opportunity Act, Fair Share Law, whatever.
You're not reading G, which is Conspiracy Theorists Will All Be Killed Act.
President Carter was able to get some of these laws enacted before leaving office.
Which one?
Yeah,
What?
None of those have ever happened, so no, he
Create
didn't.
a pseudo.
Hold on, this is also the Plans for America.
Oh my God, dude!
Create a pseudo fuel shortage and food
they're
shortage.
talking about the '70s, the oil embargo.
2, confiscate all guns. 3, calling for helter-skelter. All trucks, trains, planes, and ships except military will stop. An army of some 200,000 white prisoners and motorcycle gang members will create mass insanity in the streets by bombing church buildings, raping, murdering, and other fear tactics. Then martial law happens.
Got it.
So here's what they say here. 90% of the population of the U.S. is supposed to die in the first half hour of World War III.
Well, that happened in 1988, dude.
Yeah, it did. 90% of the population was killed in the war of 1988. The government covered it up. 3,000 missiles are to hit the U.S. within the first hour. Most industrial cities will be destroyed. All this stuff. But this is my favorite thing. The line at the end is the best. Hold on.
Okay.
To date, approximately 90% of the conspiracy plan has been fulfilled on schedule.
Okay.
So the Illuminati, I've gathered by this, want to inherit a fucking wasteland.
Yeah, dude. We're going to destroy the world and then we'll rule the ashes.
They're going to nuke the entire planet. They're going to fucking destroy all industry, all the industry, all the fucking creature comforts they would have would be destroyed. Most of the population would be killed to serve them. But they're going to live in a fucking paradise.
Yep.
This makes no fucking sense. even by their own conspiracy standards,
hold on,
doesn't make
Scott.
sense.
How do you explain the fact that 90% of this has happened since then?
Yeah.
It hasn't.
How do you
That's
explain
how
it?
I explain it.
That was a pretty
If
easy
you can do any
explanation, actually.
fucking math at all, you know none of this has happened.
Yeah. I think you're just reluctant. You're just stubborn.
You're just a non-believer, man. Look,
right.
earlier you were all skeptical about, like, why would they write the coded book, Atlas Shrugged?
Yes.
It's because, think about it, dude. What's the biggest vice of all these people? Pride, dude. They all want to be the gods, right? So they want so desperately to be able to brag about how they've been doing all of this, but they can't. So instead, they write this coded book, and they're like, yeah, we'll just let them read about their own demise.
All right, well, let me ask you this. I'm about to show you a man, okay?
Okay.
This guy also has a conspiracy theory about what the Illuminati plans
Marquis.
are. Now, if you look at this guy, you could clearly tell just looking at him. This is a guy with the truth,
That's
right?
not
Smart dude.
Well, one, there's no way that's his fucking name, dude.
The way that he props his hand up against his head like that immediately tells me he's a person of intellect.
The truth.
He is.
Because
AJ,
look, like, why would you
I
put
am
your
Doc
hand like that if
Marquis.
you weren't thinking real hard?
All right, so I want you guys to experience the magic here. The Illuminati's 7-part plan towards the creation of a new world order.
Oh, shit.
Okay? So blah, blah, blah. I guess this is kind of funny. Ever since Barack Obama usurped the White House
Okay.
by winning the election by a landslide
Citation needed, yeah.
almost 6 years ago, so many people have said to me, what's going on? This guy is destroying America. None of this makes sense anymore. Actually, it makes perfect sense if you know the inner workings and plans of the Illuminati.
Oh, okay.
Obama has been following a carefully crafted and well-honed 7-part plan that will usher in the Illuminati's new world order.
Okay. Well,
Here it is.
What is it?
Phase 1. Phase 1. Abolition of all order governments.
Can you explain phase 1 to me?
I know. Number 2, abolition of private property.
Okay.
Number 3, abolition of inheritance. Number 4, abolition of patriotism. Number 5, abolition of the family. Number 6 is something funny, sir. Number 6, abolition of religion. Number 7, creating a new world order.
I like how they have to have that. They have to have that line item, okay? Now that we've done all that, we gotta create the new world.
That's how you do it.
Should it already be there?
How is that any different from those memes that are just like, step 1, make a bunch of money. Step 2, profit. Step 3, question mark, whatever.
Yeah, the underpants gnomes from South Park.
Yeah.
Step 1, steal underpants. Step 2, step 3, profit.
Yep.
It's like abolish the government, abolish private property and inheritance and patriotism and the family and religion. And then step 2 is create a new world order.
Yeah, once we've done all that, we'll get around to creating our plans for the new world order.
It's like, what? That doesn't...
Okay, here's the problem
That's not
with
a plan.
that.
That's a shit plan.
Here's the problem. If you still have all the people, even if you have the new world order, there's still going to be problems with the new world order. People are going to be playing about the new world order. And then there's going to be a conspiracy about how the new world order is going to be overthrown by the real new world order. The cycle would just fucking continue. It's all bullshit. It's all nonsense. If you believe it, you're a fucking moron.
I have a similar plan for humanity, though. It's a 2-step plan, though.
What's that?
Step 1, abolish humanity. Step 2, allow the cockroaches to create the new world order.
Cool.
Done deal, right?
I like it because we get to be lazy.
Yeah.
We just have to die.
We just have to outlaw this humanity thing.
Oh, yeah, it's got to go. 10 reasons the moon landing could be a hoax.
It's a hoax. Folks, it's a hoax.
The waving flag. All right?
How does...
Conspiracy theorists have pointed out that when the first moon landing was shown on live television, viewers could clearly see the American flag waving and fluttering as Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin planted it. Photos of the landing also seem to show a rippling breeze, such as the image above, which clearly shows a fold in the flag. The obvious problem is there's no air in the moon's atmosphere and therefore no wind to cause the flag to blow.
Also, no gravity to keep the flag rigid or have it draping.
I mean, there is some gravity.
Right, but it's low. Like, it's enough for the flag to be, under its own power, kind of floating off the fucking surface. Like, this is a dumb one. This one's dumb. There's way better reasons that the moon landing is fake.
Yeah, even for their conspiracy theory, this is just a really dumb one.
Lack of impact crater.
Ooh, now how do you explain that?
The claim goes as follows. Had NASA really landed us on the moon, there would be a blast crater underneath the lunar module to mark its landing. On any video footage or photograph of the landings, no crater is visible, almost as though the module was simply placed there. The surface of the moon is covered in fine lunar dust, and even this doesn't seem to have been displaced.
How can you tell if dust has
I
been
don't know.
displaced?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
If, like, there's 3 or 4 inches of dust covering, like, how do you tell where it's been displaced?
Well,
It's just a bunch of dust.
It's like you can. It's like with the way weight is distributed on something.
This sentence kind of tells you all you need to know. The surface of the moon itself is solid rock, so a blast crater probably wouldn't be feasible anyway.
That's what I'm saying. That was number one is the surface is made of a hard rock, and number 2, it's like if you park your car on something, it's not just gonna break. And even if you land something on this, it's not gonna just create a giant crater. There's not enough fucking force behind it.
Multiple light sources.
Oh shit, dude.
On the moon, there is only one strong light source, the sun. So it's fair to suggest that all shadows should run parallel to one another. But this was not the case during the moon landing. Videos and photographs clearly show that the shadows fall in different directions. Conspiracy theorists suggest that this must mean multiple light sources are present, suggesting that the landing photos were taken on a film set. NASA has attempted to blame uneven landscape on the strange shadows, with subtle bumps and hills on the moon's surface causing the discrepancies. The explanation has been tossed out of the window by some theorists. How could hills cause such large angular differences? In the image above, the lunar module shadow clearly contradicts that of the rocks in the foreground.
But that image has been
45-degree
censored
angle.
by the Illuminati. You can see it's a broken
Damn.
link.
Yeah, so we're
They
not
don't
even
want-
allowed,
they
we're
don't
not even
want
allowed
this.
to see this anymore.
yeah, we
They
can't
don't
even
want
see
this
this,
out
dude.
there.
Damn,
See?
dude. The Van Allen radiation belt. In order to reach the moon, the astronauts had to pass through what is known as the Van Allen radiation belt. The belt is held in place by Earth's magnetic field and stays perpetually in the same place. The Apollo missions to the moon marked the first ever attempts to transport living humans through the belt. Conspiracy theorists contend that the sheer levels of radiation would have cooked the astronauts en route to the moon, despite the layers of aluminum coating the interior of the spaceship, blah, 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 blah. NASA have countered this argument by emphasizing the short amount of time it took the astronauts to traverse the belt.
They were cooked, dude.
Meaning they received only very small doses of radiation.
So they did. So you're telling me they didn't just hang out in the Van Allen belt, soaking up all those?
Hey guys, let's hang out in the
X-rays?
radioactive fucking shit.
Let's get cooked.
Slow motion walking, lack of stars.
See, like if that radiation shit was true, then we would probably be using micro doses of radiation to like see inside of bodies and stuff. Like if it was okay for you to briefly have intense radiation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, that'd be. Yeah, we could form some kind of like ray, like
Yeah. Like you could irradiate, use X-rays to show the internal structures of the body or some crazy shit.
I love the Stanley Kubrick shit they get into with like Room 237. And all that shit.
The Room 237 shit.
Well, The Shining in Room 237 is like Stanley Kubrick admitting he was the director of the moon landing.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch a crazy movie,
Room 237.
Room 237.
Yeah, I definitely recommend
Look,
it.
dude, the Minotaur, dude. It's the Minotaur. You can see it.
There's actually some fun things about that, though. The one part of that Room 237 documentary that I actually liked was when the person watched the movie and mapped out the hotel.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
And you can see how it was structured, and there's an impossible window in the hotel.
I mean, like some of the stuff in Room 237 is fun.
Yeah.
But there's some dorky shit in there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Some shit that you really are just like, what
there's
the fuck are you smoking?
Well, it's like anything else. There's really clever moments for like, whoa, that actually is true. Like how the hotel is basically impossible.
Yeah, like that the window behind the dude that interviews him could not exist.
I would like to talk to you guys about two different theories about the Earth.
Okay.
Okay, and I think we're going to wrap up with this. We've been doing this for about 2 hours and 14 minutes. I think it's probably about time to
I'm ready to start
dusty
concocting
trail.
my own conspiracy theories now.
We're gonna
now that I know how to do it.
Me and Paul are gonna get working on some conspiracy theories.
Here we go.
And a supplement store.
So we're gonna fucking figure this out. All right. Is the Earth hollow?
That's a good question, because I've heard people say that
and who
it
lives?
is.
If the Earth is hollow, who lives? In the
Located at 84.84 degrees north and south latitude are polar openings that lead into the hollow interior of our planet, where the lost 10 tribes of Israel today dwell in perfect harmony.
Whoa.
With lifespans equal to those of the Methuselahs of the Bible, whose only desire is to live in peace. Their flying saucers in defense of their country at times are seen on the surface world. They don't come to destroy. They are waiting for us to discover. That world peace is the only answer, not without God, but with him. We must prepare for their return.
So wait, the Jews are going to come crawling out of the holes at the poles and like
the Jews. Oh yeah.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Well, one is that the Earth is not hollow. That's the
Are
first
you guys
problem.
ready to enter?
I'm ready.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
enter,
the first
dude.
problem we have with that. But number two, if they have flying saucers and all this advanced technology, why don't they just come demonstrate that they're here?
You're saying let me just debunk that whole fucking bunch of nonsense. Scotty, have you ever been to the center of the Earth?
No.
Checkmate.
All right. This is wait. That didn't take me. That just took me. That didn't take me where I wanted to go. You said you were going to take me to fucking click here to learn about the terrestrial paradise.
We want to fucking
Earth.
go to paradise, dude.
Here we go. What the fuck is
World
this guy?
top secret.
Wow, another
What
guy
is
that
this?
looks exactly like he knows what he's talking
Could
about.
the Earth, Moon, planets, and stars all be hollow bodies? Amazingly, the answer is yes! And very likely inhabited within.
Wait, stars are inhabited within?
Yeah, dude. There's
Yes.
people living in the sun too.
So, TJ, you may be wondering, what is our hollow Earth like?
What is it like, Scotty?
It is terrestrial paradise, TJ.
Wow, terrestrial
Where
paradise.
the original Garden of Eden is located today. Where the lost tribes of Israel live. Where the political kingdom of God is
The
located.
political kingdom of God?
Yes.
Where the
So
lost
God's into politics now?
Viking colonies of Greenland migrated to.
Ooh, sweet. There's
Well, the-
Vikings there?
Where vanquished Germans escaped to after World War II.
What?
Wait,
the
wait,
No-
wait, wait,
the
wait,
No-
wait,
The
wait.
Nazis
Hold
got
up.
to go?
Hold up. Hold up. So wait, the lost tribes of Israel are like, yes, Nazis, you are welcome here.
Yeah, escape persecution for killing 6 million of our brethren and come to the center of the earth with us.
Where flying saucers come from. Where people live to be hundreds of years old in perfect health, Paul.
That sounds good.
Where peace and prosperity exist for everyone. Where heaven is located, the inner sun.
So this inside the sun is heaven?
Yeah.
It's hollow,
Duh.
TJ.
The hollow
Where
sun.
else is heaven?
Hollow sun.
I don't know. I just assumed maybe not in the sun. I don't know.
You're being a little thick here, TJ.
Been a little thick here, TJ. Learn more from those who have been there. All right.
Okay, so
Wait.
I have one question. If these places existed and you went there, why the fuck would you come back?
Look, to tell people, Olaf Hansen, or is that Jan?
Can you send a letter? Isn't there a Hollow Earth mail
Janssen.
system?
And his father, Jens Janssen, fuck me, Norwegian fisherman, accidentally discovered the North Polar opening in 1829 in search of the chosen ones of their ancestors.
Whatever.
Hold on. And they entered the Hollow Earth, where they lived for 2 years with the giant people there. Olaf then returned to Sweden by way of the South Polar opening after being rescued by a Scotland whaleboat from an iceberg. His father...
Why would they need to be rescued from paradise?
...was killed when the fishing boat was struck and sunk by an iceberg in Antarctica. Olaf
Paul.
later immigrated to the United States and died in Los Angeles in 1908. Here is a YouTube video recording of Olaf Janssen's story.
Dude, that'd be like if Paul came to us and he's like, guys, I discovered this paradise just full of this island full of attractive women who were just going to serve me and worship me. And they built a temple in my honor, and it was just paradise. And every want and desire and need I've ever had in my life was just going to be fulfilled. And I was going to live hundreds of years.
Until I was rescued.
But I had to be rescued. I had to escape from that fucking place to come back and tell you guys how great it is.
Yeah.
It's like, Paul, you should have fucking stayed there, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, just for the record, you'll never hear
Yeah.
from me again if that happens.
If it happens to you, Paul, please don't come back to
I
tell us
won't.
about it. Thank you.
Do you want to go to our Hollow Earth? My solution is to create a city called the Virtual City of Light.
Oh, okay,
We
cool
can
name.
join, dude.
By working together, we can do anything. Click here to become a citizen.
Yes, dude. Finally.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, we can all live in harmony and all that shit. Yeah, that's great. How do I do that? I'm become a citizen. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Let's do it.
I'm trying.
Become a citizen.
Oh,
Join
man.
now.
Okay, so we can join. All right.
This website is awesome.
Oh.
Let's see.
Oh, damn. I need your phone number again, too, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're asking, like, why does everybody want your phone number? Why do I have to have a phone to be a citizen of paradise?
Yeah, I don't need my phone there.
Just use a fake number, dude.
I'm just wondering how long it takes for them to charge you for this.
Oh, do you know you have to pay?
Because this is clearly
Dude, I want to be a citizen
It's
of the
clearly a
virtual
scam.
city of light,
a
dude.
scam for the dumbest people on earth. Man, can you build a better fucking website than this? Like, you know, what's with all these conspiracy theorists that can't build a fucking website?
Look, they don't have the backing of the huge
Dude,
multinational
you know this is
Illuminati
bullshit.
corporations.
I think you guys are stupid as fuck because honestly, we were learning about this. We were hearing about all this Hollow Earth shit, and you guys didn't bring up the one best point against the Hollow Earth.
Which is?
The Earth is clearly fucking flat, dude.
Oh, fuck, dude. I didn't think about it.
This is the FAQ from the Flat Earth Society from their forum.
Once again, kind of a shitty-looking website.
Well,
it's a little better.
This is just their discussion
Here's some
board.
FAQs.
So this is the FAQ.
Is this site a joke?
Is it? Is this site a joke?
No.
Yes.
No.
No. This site is not a joke. We are actively promoting the Flat Earth movement worldwide. There are admittedly several non-serious Flat Earth posters, but they're fairly easy to identify. All right, so this is a good question. What evidence do you have? The evidence for a flat Earth is derived from many different facets of science and philosophy. The simplest is by relying on one's own senses to discern the true nature of the world around us.
Wow.
Hold on. The world looks flat. The bottom of clouds are flat.
No, they're not.
The movement of the sun.
I've flown through clouds, and the bottom of them are not flat. They're not flat.
These are all examples of your senses telling you. Wait a minute.
No. That does not make any sense. That is completely antithetical to the very notion, the very idea behind
Let
science.
me ask you a question,
which is to
Scotty.
remove your own personal and internal biases.
No, Scotty.
and
Go outside.
perception.
Go outside. Look around and tell me if it looks like it's round, Scotty.
It does.
Do you feel like you're on a basketball? No, you're on a fucking flat surface.
No,
and
I
you know
don't
it.
feel like that.
You do.
If it was all flat, then I would have a better fucking view of things. I'd be able to see greater distances, and also the way that light would be in the sky would always be the same every day. It would never change. There would never be a different season.
No, because the sun's moving, dude. The movement of the sun. These are
Well, if
all
you're saying it gets closer, then you'd have rapid seasonal changes too.
These are all examples, Scotty, of your senses telling you
if you believe that
we do not live on a spherical, heliocentric world. This is using what's called an empiricist approach. Or an approach that relies on the information from your senses.
Wait a minute. Empiricists rely on their feelings about things? Wow. I have a really flawed understanding of what empiricism is.
Alternatively, when using Descartes' method of Cartesian doubt to skeptically view the world around us, one quickly finds that the notion of a spherical world is the theory which has the burden of proof, not flat Earth theory. Okay?
All right.
So you've just shifted the burden of proof onto people questioning
onto
whether
people
or
that
not
have actually done experiments proving that the world is round.
I think that burden of proof has been met.
Yeah.
Okay?
The burden of proof has been extensively met because there's many assumptions based upon the way we travel and move around and
all right, but hold on,
distribute
though.
information.
Hold on, though, because there's been experiments, dude. Perhaps the best example of flat Earth proof is the Bedford Level experiment. In short, this was an experiment preformed many times on a 6-mile stretch of water that proved the surface of the water to be flat. It did not conform to the curvature of the Earth that round Earth proponents teach.
A bunch of assholes.
It's so strange how all these objects in the cosmos don't happen to be flat, but suddenly Earth is the one that's flat, right? Even though we have photographic and video evidence the Earth is not flat.
Well, they actually addressed that somewhere. Hold on.
It's all a fucking. It's all CGI.
Oh, it's all fake, right?
It's faked. Of course it is.
Everything's fake, dude.
Hold on. I know I saw that somewhere.
The bottom. There are many pictures on the internet. Blah blah blah.
Oh yeah. Wait, no, that's not it either. There was
that's not
literally one where they were talking about the planets. Like, they were like, well, all the other planets are round, and here's their explanation for that. Okay.
Okay.
The Earth is not the same type of celestial body as these other objects that we see in the night sky.
Oh.
We shouldn't assume that just because all these things we see are round, that means
we
the
are.
Earth is the Earth is a totally different thing. Okay, totally different.
So when we observe other things like the moon being round, we observe other planets being round, we observe all these bodies in the solar system and our solar system and the universe being round, the Earth is just magically just different than all of those.
Yeah.
And the fact that we can observe those, they accept those as evidence. Okay, I see that's a sphere there. So the moon is spherical, right? They believe that, correct?
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe the moon is just the reason we only see one face of the moon is because it's just a flat disc up there.
Yeah, it's just a big old frisbee.
It's a frisbee up there, huh?
It just kind of goes round and round.
My question that I've never heard
even though
answered
it
by
rotates.
by the flat. Well, yeah, it doesn't appear to rotate though.
It doesn't appear to rotate. So okay, yeah, there you go.
You got to trust your senses, Scotty. Quit relying on your brain and start trusting your eyes, man.
Just trust your gut, right?
But
the moon is actually made of cheese.
Why? Wait, this is a great one. Why doesn't gravity pull the Earth into a spherical shape like it does with all the other celestial bodies?
Exactly.
This is why. The Earth isn't pulled into a sphere because the force known as gravity doesn't exist.
Oh!
or at least exists in a greatly diminished form than is commonly taught. The Earth is constantly accelerating up to a rate of 32 feet per second squared, or 9.8 meters per second squared. This constant acceleration causes what you think of as gravity. Imagine sitting in a car that never stops speeding up. You will be forever pushed into your seat.
Because that car is under the influence of gravity.
Oh my God!
Also,
dude. What are the chances that this entire thing is just a big Poe?
It's not.
Are you sure?
It's
no,
not.
dude.
Now, there might be true believers, but the people running it aren't just giggling into their fucking sleeves at this bullshit.
I mean, maybe they are, but there are true believers.
There are definitely true believers of this theory.
Oh, my God.
I got a question for the flat Earth thing. Maybe there's an answer on that page. So let's say I accept it. We're on a disc, right? It's still got to be a three-dimensional object, right?
Uh-huh.
So how thick is the pizza? And what's on the other side of the crust is what I'm saying. Like, if all the continents and everything that we can experience on Earth is all part of the so that's what I'm understanding, right?
Yeah. So where's the edge of the Earth?
Where's the what would happen if I got to the edge? And what's on the other side of the pizza?
Especially with no gravity, do you just fly off into space at that point?
All right, hold on. Let's just ask how thick is the flat Earth?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Frequently asked questions. This is the Flat Earth Wiki. So let's see. Let's see if they have a thing about thickness here. Thick.
Well, TJ, you don't want to get embarrassed, dude.
Wide. Damn it. They don't seem to have that one. I'm sorry.
That's a shame.
Well, let's ask them about the edge.
What about the edge, though? The edge. They got to answer for the edge thing.
As seen in the diagrams above. Here, I'll just point that up for you. As seen in the diagrams above, I don't see I think they're talking about this.
Okay.
Even though that's below. The Earth is the form of a disk with the North Pole in the center and Antarctica as a wall around the edge. This is generally an accepted model among members of the society. In this model, circumnavigation is performed by moving in a great circle around the North Pole. The Earth is surrounded on all sides by an ice wall that holds the oceans back. This ice wall is what explorers have named Antarctica. Beyond the ice wall is a topic of great interest to the Flat Earth Society. To our knowledge, no one has been very far past the ice wall and returned to tell of their journey. What we do know is that it encircles the Earth and serves to hold in our oceans and helps protect us from whatever lies beyond.
How could you...
Protect. Apparently, they think it's something ominous back there behind the ice walls.
Is it the frost giants?
Yeah,
dude. Are they build the frost
the fucking
wall?
White Walkers and shit are back there?
I
And,
mean,
you know.
Dude, what if it's just a barrier between a totally different set of continents on the other side with a totally different society and shit, and eventually we get the technology where we can meet them, dude?
Wow, dude.
What a bunch of fucking nonsense, dude.
I don't know how I can believe any... I mean, you go to these websites. I mean, they're so poorly made. The quality is so low. But I think it almost adds to the people's belief. They see them. It's like, this is really underground.
Yeah, dude. The people are really trying to get this out, dude. They're working hard. They're not web designers. They're thinkers.
Except the flat Earth is now mainstream, dude. It's all on fucking YouTube. It's a bunch of idiots that go and watch these conspiracy videos, and they're just primed. And it's like, Earth is flat. Why not? Chemtrails, might as well fucking believe in them.
I think people just like arguing sometimes, and they just want to find something that's so absurd that they can just have a perpetual argument about it, and flat Earth is their choice.
It's a good one, dude.
Man, I really wish I could figure out I guess they don't have any theories about... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. Here's a thread about the thickness, okay?
Oh, sweet, dude.
Given the world is flat... Given, yes,
Given.
of course.
I mean...
Approximately how thick is it? I'm assuming nobody knows for sure, but I'm interested in your guesses and why. Didn't we just have this thread, blah, blah, blah? Yeah, well, whatever. Answer, prick.
Want to fucking answer, flat earther?
I guess they're sending this guy over to another thread. Like, yeah, this is the fucking thread where this is fucking blah, blah, blah.
This is where all the idiots determined how...
Between 2 to 3 miles... This is diggable using modern mining techniques.
2 to 3 miles.
It should also provide a permanent way for astronauts and space vehicles to enter outer space. A lot easier than firing rockets.
Well, shouldn't the ice wall be around them?
Wait a minute.
So
Can we think about...
Hold on. So according to that, they're basically saying that we're still just floating around in space. But
if we dig a hole through the disk, then we could just fall through the hole and get into space? Is that what they're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
But what about the ice wall? There's no ice wall.
Why don't we fall up off of the disk?
The ice wall. I don't know, dude.
The thickness is not known for certain. We do know that it's 7 miles at the very least to accommodate the deeper parts of the ocean.
At least 7 miles.
So this guy has a different theory. It's at least 7 miles. At least.
So maybe 10 miles, dude. Maybe it's 10 miles thick.
So that's the theory, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
Dude.
All right. Well, I guess I know. 10 miles.
So we're gonna say it's about 10 miles, and underneath it is nothing but space.
Space, dude.
But what's on the other face of it? Like, let's say the astronaut digs a hole all the way through the disc and falls through, and once he gets through, he looks up. What does he see?
The astronaut digs a hole.
The astronaut is.
Well, it's only 2 to 3 miles. It's doable with modern mining technology,
Well, we established
guys.
it has to be at least 7.
So-
Well, that's one theory on it, TJ.
Well,
we
let's
didn't
say-
establish shit.
We did,
but let's
because it
say-
has to accommodate the deepest parts of the ocean.
Says you. What if that's just the other side? What if you go deep enough in the ocean and you're just on the other side of the disc?
No, Paul. There's no way, dude. There's no fucking
Maybe
way,
you could
man.
swim to the fucking other side of the earth.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's where the ice wall comes in, dude. You hit the wall. It's like a video game, dude. You run off the map and you hit the edge of the map. That's how it happens with the world, dude.
Dude, I want to
You
fucking.
can't go past that point.
I saw someone propose that we do a reality show where we finance flat earthers' expeditions to the edge of the world.
Yeah. That would be so amazing.
I think we need to
Darwin
do
Awards and a reality
it. We
show at the
need
same
to make
time.
that fucking show, dude.
Or like as space tourism becomes more better too, like finance an expedition to space for them.
Yeah, wouldn't that? I mean, that'd be even easier because all you got to do is dig. Okay, just keep digging and digging and digging, and eventually you're gonna fucking hit the fucking bottom of the earth
And
right?
fall into space.
Yeah, so let's give it a shot. Let's give it a fucking
Give them
shot.
some shovels, put a camera on them, and get going.
Yeah, let's let them dig to the liquid part of the the Earth's the what is it called?
That's not a thing. Don't worry about
the mantle. Let's let
that.
them
Don't worry
dig into
about
the
that.
mantle.
Don't worry
dude.
about that. That's not
Why
even
don't
a
we
thing.
just put them on a military plane, take them to the edge of Antarctica, the ice wall, or whatever, and then just say, all right, everybody's got a compass there. We're going to fly due north over the ice wall and see what's on the other side. And then when they wrap around and end up on the other side of the globe, they'll have to come up with an explanation for that in the moment, and we'll see what happens.
Which they will.
The pilot just kept slightly altering course.
Got it. Well, what if they had GPSs where they could track it themselves, dude? Oh, yeah, but they don't believe in
They don't
GPS
believe
because
that
that's based
shit.
on a round Earth.
I don't believe
Yeah,
that horse
dude.
shit,
Can't
dude. What are you,
believe
an
it.
idiot?
I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
Look, Paul, the ice wall, it shifts, dude.
I'm a round brain, dude. I need to learn to think flat.
Yeah, think flat, dude. Think flat. All right, so that was us looking at some conspiracy theories. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being patrons.
Yeah, dude.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know. You can do so in the comments section on Patreon. That's our preferred place that you'd let us know what you thought. And
We'll be back tomorrow.
we will be back tomorrow with your patron-exclusive episode.
You guys get to double dip this
Double-
week. Look
double
at you,
dose.
you saucy bitches, you.
So,
You're like, oh, I just had dessert. You know what I would like to order? Another fucking dessert.
yeah. And then next month, because you guys have met our second fucking patron goal already, we will be doing a drunken prohibition show.
Oh, that's going to be a beautiful thing, dude.
where we all get too drunk to even function as a show and talk about the Prohibition era in the United States and what that was all about. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys dig to space soon. And, yeah, Scotty or Paul, you guys wrap it up somehow. Put a bow on this.
What?
Put a bow on it.
Dig.
a bow on it.
Start thinking flat, dude.
Think flat.
Think flat.
That's
quit being a
words
round
of
brain.
wisdom from Paul.
Quit being a round brain. Think flat, dude.
Think flat. Thank you guys for checking us out.
Fuck you, TJ.
Thank you for being patrons. We
Thank
love
you,
fucking
patrons.
dunce, TJ.
We love you. Oh, I'm the dunce, am
You're a
I?
fucking dunce, TJ.
You know who I think is the dunce, Scotty?
You, because you can't figure out which fucking...
Shut up, Paul. No one
Sorry.
asked you. You're not. I can't find the dunce image either. There it is.
Where's the
Oh.
You little dunce bitch. That's where you belong.
Well, I look pretty good in a pointy hat.
Look, dude.
I think you need an actual dunce cap, dude.
Yeah, maybe I should, like...
Dude, we tried to find a fucking dunce cap for TJ for a video once, dude.
It's hard.
You can just make one out of fucking paper, dude.
Yeah, but, I wanted one that was a little bit more
yeah,
professional.
dude. It
but
just didn't work out. His head was too fucking big.
You're right. I'm going to go fucking full-on ape shit here. Paul's going to be Napoleon.
Sweet.
And you
Hold
both
on, let me stuff my...
you both have fucking gay ass shit you got to say.
Burble, burble, burble.
This is This is the greatest screen cap of all time right here. Everyone be sure to screen cap this and put it on Twitter and fucking let people know this is what the fuck they missed by not being patrons.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.